Now is it working? Haha, there we go. Sorry. I don't know why it worked just fine with my last thing, so now it's there. So let me know. Lee Bridges and Traveling with Nick P. Ronnie Dove. Mary Ellen's here. Hope you're all good. Yeah, and I wasn't on mute. Just the mic is set differently because apparently when I turn OBS, I have to now have the mic. Whereas when I was doing Streamlabs, I can't use the mic. I have to use the normal computer mic. So there is that. So apologies for the late start and late hearing everyone. Brian, I just tried to schedule it around the little guy because he is adorable. So I don't know why you're even talking to me. He's so cute. Anyway, all these wonderful traveling people on here. So I got to say hi to everybody. Hey, James Williams, thank you very much for a happy Halloween wish. I don't know what we're going to do for this Halloween because, I don't know if we get to go out or what's going to happen, so we shall see. Josh and I are thinking about maybe doing something special for y'all, but we'll see how it works. Linda Dorr, thank you for joining from Bruce's channel. Nice guy. That was a really nice time to do. Traveling the world up in the Chicago suburbs. Good to see you. Some people think Champagne's a suburb of Chicago. I actually have a lot of colleagues that actually drive down from Chicago to work. Not now, but, back in the good old days, like January. Anyway, yes, thanks, Eric Brown. Double thumbs up, buddy. I appreciate it. Good to see you. Sorry about the Rays last night, man. I don't know why they took that picture out, man. That was dumb. Let's see. Privyet. Visiem. Hello to you. Thank you, Traveling the World. Hello, Mother. My mom's on here. Oh, Danielle in Boston. That was a trip that was supposed to go on in May this year that got canceled. Obviously, other ones. We had a lot of trips canceled this year. Did anybody else have a trip canceled? Or 2? Or 5? So, lots of stuff here. But it's really cool to see everybody say, if not, we might see you the middle of next year. My goodness, OBS is kicking me off. So let me know. If I disappear again, please let me know. I'm gonna go down. So instead of going through the things here, I've just skipped down to the newest one. So if you ask something that isn't showing up on here right now, just send it again because I want to have my live thing going by so I can kind of follow that because apparently I'm having some issues with the internet today. So I apologize. Mark Posh, thank you for joining us from Bruce's channel. Good times, good time. Babs, big retirement trip coming up. I hope it can happen. That'll be awesome. Darian's trip canceled. Who, me? No. Rusty Shackelford, you back with a vengeance, my friend. Good to see you. Amy. Oh, hey, Amy. I'm fading in and out. Just skipped a little bit. Yeah, it said we got disconnected and then reconnected, but I have a green button. It says green connection. So here's hoping. Oh, Timo Garcia, my wife and I enjoy your videos. Use them a lot when we could travel. Thanks. I'm glad, Timo. I'll be honest. Timo's compliment, that is the nicest thing people can say. The fact that we got to help people travel and we got to be like just a little tiny part of your trip is really cool. And that's funny. When I was talking to Bruce, he's like, do you ever bump into people or what do you like about the YouTube and stuff like that? I'm like, honestly, I love the fact that we get to help people because I know for me, I want to get as much as I can out of traveling. And so I make our videos in order to help you all travel better because this is how I'd want to travel. So it's really cool when I hear from people, that they had a good time and that the videos helped out. So that's really nice. Hi, Amy. Yeah, Jocelyn's not feeling good. So she was doing good today. She actually already had a drink before I had my talk with Bruce. Then she wasn't feeling too hot. So she's up in bed. So he was hoping she's okay. Let's just hope she's doing good. So maybe she'll pop down later. But right now she's laying down with Liam and they're watching, I think they're watching a Halloween DVD or something. So, because whenever we do a live, I had to be like, boys, it's DVD time. Or if you play video games, it cannot be online. So there is that. Why isn't Toast? Mark, huge fan. What's your favorite Japanese city? Kyoto. I really like Kyoto. Tokyo was freaking amazing, but Kyoto for me was like the historic part of it. And then you can see the new age stuff too. It was like a great kind of mix. Hopefully, if things work out, I'll be speaking at the World Education Forum in Osaka next year, but I have a feeling that's going to get canceled or pushed back. So I don't know, but that was like the biggest thing I've ever spoke at. And it's not for travel. It's for my day job of teaching. So that'd be really cool. Jimmy, I got Cambodian invite and I'm canceled from Ireland. I'm sorry, my brother. So travel the world. Why do you prefer Prague over Vienna and Budapest? I think it's the ambiance because, like, don't get me wrong. All three of those cities are fantastic to visit. But for me, Prague, since really nothing was destroyed during the war, it has that beauty and the old world beauty. Budapest, since it was really like, it got really kind of like the communists really got quite a bit of a hold in there. And the architecture got destroyed from the war, so there's not as much of the history there. But it's still super cool. I mean, don't get me wrong, Budapest is still super cool. And Vienna's got that staid, yes, I am the Austro-Hungarian Empire kind of feel. So I just think Prague just more my style. Though I do love, I've taught in Vienna the last couple of years. I'm teaching there again this next summer. I mean, it's online, but I teach for the university there. So there's that. Annie wants to know, can you say some German? Ja, ich kann etwas auf Deutsch sagen. Geht das schon? So there's a little thing there. Oh, Logan Adams, I don't think I could have survived quarantine without this channel. Thanks, Logan. I'm happy we could help out. And that was funny. This is actually a topic. I've had this with two people today about how when the quarantine started, we were doing the lives every Whiskey Wednesday, and then on Saturday, and we were doing it, and it was to help people out, but also help us out to have some kind of contact with people, and it was like a really great thing for us, and it's weird because I miss it because we were doing so many of them, and it became like part of a thing, and I know a lot of us on here from the gals, Nick P, Reggie, your man, Lori, Mark Finley, who'll probably pop on later. I mean, it was like making a whole new set of friends that we could see here this way. So this is good. Traveling P, best German phrase ever. Spaghetti Eis. Ich möchte ein Spaghetti Eis, bitte. I would like a spaghetti ice. Got to make sure you're kind with that. So Tyler Cool Guy 88. Hello, Mark. Hello, Tyler. I'm not a cool guy though, but I play one on TV. Says, Mark, I was wondering what air travel will be like once a vaccine is approved and available for us to take. I missed some of the trips this year due to this thing. So I'm going to guess whenever there is a vaccine, it won't be for everyone right away because you just can't make 7 billion things. It's just like logistically, it's not possible. So probably what you're going to see is you're going to see like frontline workers, healthcare workers, teachers, elderly, they'll be getting it first. And so then it kind of like goes down the tiers. So like young people will probably be, if you're in your 30s and 20s, you're probably going to be at the end of the road. So Andy Lee, can I speak Chinese? Buyao, which is I don't want. What is it? 我是教授. I'm a professor. I think that's what it was. 我是美国人. I think I'm American. I don't remember too much. It was 2013 when I taught in China. So all of it's kind of like disappeared over the years. I'm sorry. Let's see. KMP from Tampa. Good to see you. Gals. So the gallivanting gals and us, we're working together to get a thing so we can go to Nashville together with them. And they're going to do the Don'ts of Nashville with me on our channel. Then we're going to do top sites to see in Nashville on their channel. And then we're going to do some cooking on Jocelyn's channel from some Nashville fun. So maybe some Nashville hot chicken and some other stuff. So should be a good time. Ooh, Fortune Covey got his Glenfiddich. I got my Gentleman Jack. I had a dream last night that Jack Daniels sponsored us, and I was traveling, and they're like, "Oh, have a whiskey because it's Whiskey Wednesday." I'm like, "I'm sorry, I'm contractually obligated only to drink Gentleman Jack or whatever." Sadly, that's not the case. Well, it's good because I can drink anything I want, but it was a very odd dream. So I guess I was thinking about Whiskey Wednesday last night. So there is that. Let's see. EJ Slimp, hey, I'm working on getting my degree in history education and would love to teach in Berlin. Any advice on getting a teaching job abroad, especially in Germany? Okay, so EJ, one thing is there's always the teaching English as a foreign language is like the back way in, but make sure you get official certification in it. Like you're going to get your teaching degree, so you're good there. You can look at international schools. There's a bunch of international schools in Berlin and throughout Germany, and they're always looking for people because a lot of times what happens is a spouse of an international executive will be a teacher, and they will like go work for a year or two and then leave. So there's a lot of turnover in those programs. So you could look that way, and it might not be Berlin, but you might end up in Hanover or Hamburg or Nuremberg or someplace. So be open to where you go, because I have a friend of mine. She's gone all over the world. Her husband did a PhD at the same time I did, but in a different school, but both in Lisbon. We were roommates. And his wife was in Lisbon teaching at the international school. Excuse me. And they end up, I think they're in Singapore now. They've gone to a lot of other places, but they're in Singapore now. And, it gives her opportunity to travel the world. She's like, hey, we're just open to whatever. So something to think about. Lee Bridges, this channel is planning and optimism is a great reminder that eventually we'll be able to travel again. We will. And some people are already traveling. I know some people have gotten upset with our latest videos about helping people travel better during COVID and the coronavirus and the pandemic. But the thing is, in my perspective, people are going to travel anyway. And I would rather put out helpful advice that's going to help people travel safely than people that are just like, go travel. And, because there's tons of videos still out there of people traveling, but they're not talking about these things you got to do. You see in our videos, you see us wearing our masks when we're going around and stuff. So some stuff to think about. Hey, Jorge Garcia in McAllen, Texas. Buchanan's. I have not had Buchanan's. If I have, I don't remember, so it must have been good. Right now, I'm like I said, I got the Gentleman Jack. Usually my go-tos are Gentleman Jack or Woodford Reserve. Those are kind of mine because they're a bit smoother and they're not too expensive. Glenfiddich is nice, but that's a bit out of my price range because, money doesn't grow on trees, sadly. Maybe one day, but not yet. And whiskey doesn't grow on trees either, so I try to keep those ones. Let's see. Judy has a question. Hottest city in Texas in January? I'm going to say probably Houston is going to be the hottest one because you go to Houston, Galveston. We're looking at going to those places before the end of the year. So something to think about. Nothing Master. Which U.S. stations do you recommend right now? So we actually did our road trip we did out to Wyoming, Idaho, and Montana was fantastic. I would do that again in a heartbeat. But right now, the snow's already started there. So what happens is sometimes the roads get closed, the highways get closed when the snow comes. So maybe wait till next year. I think doing like places like Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, you got to look at the numbers. You got to look at the restrictions to really know where you can go. But in terms of U.S. destinations for we'll probably do through next spring because I just don't see international traveling open up more than maybe some stuff in the Caribbean for Americans that like is doable. Like you could do the 2-week quarantine, but the kids are in school, so we can't, or will be in school next year, so can't really do that. I would say you're looking at New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, the Southeast, the Sun Belt stuff is probably the best place to go right now. Nicolas in Ecuador. Hey, if you haven't ever thought about going to Ecuador, do go. Good food, good people. Like totally laid back people too. So it's cool. Let's see. Oh, got a little jump there. Hey, time for a kiss. She's upstairs not feeling well. I did 28-day USA road trips. Scared to post it though. Yeah, I think one thing you have to realize is some people will get really upset that you did a road trip. But here's the thing, is I actually had less contact with people on the road trip we did for 4 weeks than I do here in town when I go to the grocery store and go shopping and kind of live the normal life here, which is scary. So if you plan it right, you can do it. That's why it's really important to plan. We're seeing more, like we went to a lot of national parks, a lot of state parks. There's a lot of stuff you can do outside. You can social distance, because social distance is not just 6 feet. It's also where you go. Like I say, it's like I'm the one sacrificing. I'm going in to check in the hotel. I'm getting the keys. I'm doing all this stuff while everyone else stays in the car. And you kind of do stuff like that to kind of keep people away. But thank you very much for the super chat. Time for a kiss. I really appreciate it. Def Leppard rules rock. I feel like Jocelyn should be here because these are our two buddies. Thank you very much for the super chat. Since you're sticking with domestic travel for now, do you think it's possible that you'll visit Hawaii and Alaska within the next year? Yes. If U.S. travelers and citizens are not allowed to go abroad and places like that, yes, I can pretty much guarantee one of those two we will definitely do, and it might be both. And I have that planned. I actually have 13 different trips, USA trips I have put together. in my little notebook that's in my office right now of places to go. Like, there's the Route 66 trip. There's the Mountain West trip, which we've already done. There's the Rust Belt. There's there's the what else? There's New England trip. I've got a Southeast trip. I've got a what do they call it? Like not the New South, the Mid South. So like Tennessee, Kentucky, and going over to Virginia. So I got a thing there. So I've got a lot of different road trips planned out for us for next year if we can't go. If we can't go. So yeah, so there'll be some of those for sure. And of course, we've got the the road trip from Oregon down, or from Washington down through Oregon down into California. So that's another one we have kind of planned out. That's one I think we'll probably do if the kids are still online. We'll probably do that beginning next year. So. Yeah, Lee Bridges is saying state of California has a tiered system. Yeah, a lot of places, and that's the thing is you got to look at the tier system, especially when you see so many numbers going up now. Like state of Illinois, 7 of the 11 the restaurants have been closed again, and the bars have been closed again, just for takeout for food and stuff. Like for us, I've kind of like Josh and I were talking. We're like, I'm gonna guess it's. Yeah, like we have our few restaurants we order from, and we're just gonna keep helping them out. So hopefully we can do that. Sam FW, most popular non-Paris university town in France. For me, I like Bordeaux and Rouen. Those are 2 university towns I really like. Grenoble's a huge university town that's really beautiful too. Amit, yes, it's been a minute, man. I hope you're doing good. I love seeing these names I haven't seen for so long when we get to do these things. Hello, Mark Finley, my brother. One day in the deep south, where would you go? We'd have to go to Savannah because that's where Jocelyn has friends and there's family there. That would be one for sure. But here's the thing: is like some people don't like Atlanta. I love Atlanta without a car. That's the key thing. Without a car, Atlanta's awesome. Amy, Mark, you mentioned you're going to Texas. Please come to Dallas Fort Worth. We are. We will be coming through there. It's just we want to make sure we can do all the stuff. So we want to get all of our tests in and things like that. Make sure we're cool to go. And then we'll hopefully get down there in the next month or so. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we'll be down there. Because, man, Dallas, you guys got some incredible museums. That oil money bought a lot of beautiful artwork and a lot of beautiful stuff from museums, man. I want to check out the Perot Museum. Then what was the other art museums? Dallas Museum of Art, I think. No, I gotta, because I've been going through. So I've got my notes for Dallas Fort Worth. I've got my notes for Houston and Galveston. I've got my notes for San Antonio. So I've been like going through all those, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting so excited. But we have one of Jocelyn's, her dad. I think it's her dad's roommate in college. He's in Arkansas, and he's by himself. So I think we're gonna go and try to spend some time with him for like a Thanksgiving thing, and then head out and see some of the beautiful parts of Texas, and of course hit Buc-ee's. I mean, I got to go back to Buc-ee's. It's like required. Brian Smith got me all those Buc-ee's nuggets, and I gotta get them back. Let's see, Chuck Draper. Any chance you'll be open to the U.S. at some point next year? Looking at Med Cruise in May or June. So the cruises, I don't know what's going on with cruises. They're probably going to extend. I mean, it's 5 days till the U.S. Their ends of their cruise limitations. I'm going to guess they're going to extend that May, June next year. My thought is, there's going to be some, I think there's going to be like a test and release program. Like you have to test before you go, test when you get there. And if you're okay, then they'll let you go for a bit. Or there might be test and then you got to quarantine for a few days, another test, and then see what's there. Because the thing is, treatments, I mean, we've come up with so many tests now, and they're getting better at the testing, and the treatments are getting better. So I think there'll be some things, there'll definitely still be like, you'll still be having to wear your mask, and you're still going to have to do tests and stuff, but hopefully there'll be something. I know for us, we've kind of planned if we can go, we kind of think that might be you only get to go to one country. Or maybe not, we don't know, but we've kind of like planned that we'll go to Italy for this wedding and just stay there and do Italy for 6 weeks and really get everything Italy. So if like next fall, you're like, why is Wolters Row only got all these Italy videos? Now you know why. So we'll see. Matt Jones, have I been to Quebec City during Christmas time? No. And we were going to go this year for the 11th through 13th of December, but that's not happening. So that sucks because it is gorgeous. I love Quebec City. Is my favorite city in Canada. Hands down, my favorite place to go. Let's see. Bella, what's your research process for making videos in each place you visit? Amazing you seem to be on spot for each one. So what I do is I will read pretty much any guidebook at Barnes & Noble about the destination. I will read probably 50 to 60 blogs. I will watch 30 or 40 videos. And then also I've traveled a lot of places too, so I got friends. So I ask friends, and I ask people that are friends of friends. I'm like, hey, is anybody from this place? And so I'll try to get as much information as I can. So I take all this information. I've got some notes. Like you'll see when I travel around, I have like big notebooks and stuff. And I'll have a rough idea what people say, but I'm like, look, I'm not going to base my whole script off this stuff. Let me go there and see. So I go for a while, then get a feel for what I see. Because sometimes you're like, I remember like every guide was like, oh, Costa Rica, the roads suck and you're going to lose your car. And I'm like, actually, no, they're fine now. So like, I don't have it written. It's like, I have some ideas, but I'm waiting until I see it myself. And it's fun because then I see it myself. I'm like, now I can put my stories in there. And it really works out. Travel with Nick P. I held my passport and shed a tear over the non-existent international travel. Yeah, most useless thing in 2020. Amen to that, brother. Yeah, we got to El Salvador in February, and that was it. It was funny because usually my buddy Jeff and I will go someplace international in January, and this year we're like, we'll just go down to Atlanta because he and I were supposed to go to Vienna together for a month because he was going to be my co-professor in this class, and so we were like, we've got 4 to 6 weeks in Europe together. So we'll wait for international trip. We'll just do Atlanta. We're there for 5 days, had a great time. And then this happened. We're like, damn it. So. Lee Bridges, Mark, why do you prefer Quebec City to Vancouver? Not criticism. I haven't been there. Quebec City is way more tourist friendly. It's way prettier. Vancouver, I think, is overpriced. If I had to choose between going to Vancouver and Seattle, I would choose Seattle over Vancouver. I'm just saying. ATW Spotter, do you watch Rick Steves? I used to back in the day. Rick Steves, actually, if you want, I'll be honest, if you're going to go someplace and you want to get a guide, the Rick Steves guys, the people that Rick Steves recommends, the guys he recommends are top notch. They're the ones I think that write his books for him, and they are great. I've actually used quite a few of his guides over the years, and they've every single one super professional, super friendly, and super great at their job. So I love it. I love his guides, and then also his restaurants for local food. Really good stuff. Like I like that about him. My mom always uses him to get her hotels when we travel, and hasn't steered us wrong. So the guy's done a great job of really opening up Europe and make it a lot more accessible to people. So that's cool. Ahmed, Jocelyn is ill. Jocelyn is not feeling good. She actually had a drink earlier tonight. It's not here now. It's probably over there. So she was raring to go, but not doing well. Let's see. Oh, what happened with Logan? I gotta scroll up for this. See, you guys have all these conversations while I'm chatting, and I don't know what's going on. Traveling the world. Hi, Mark. How about you do a Midwest road trip going up to Chicago, then to Milwaukee, then up to Western Michigan? That's actually a road trip we actually do have. Actually, there are two different ones because I have the Chicago, Wisconsin, going Chicago, Milwaukee, Green Bay, then coming across. Going up into Minnesota, the North Dakota, going to Glacier National Park. So that's a trip I do have planned for next summer if we don't get to go places. But the Michigan side, I have going up to Chicago, going to Indiana Dunes National Park, and then going up to Traverse City, Mackinac, Detroit, and then going from Detroit down to Toledo because my grandpa lived there, so I got to go back. Then we go to Sandusky. To do Cedar Point, going over to Cleveland. Then we're going into, basically go over to Philadelphia, and then we come back through Pittsburgh and Columbus and Indianapolis, coming back that way. So that's another trip. So lots of stuff coming. Def Leppard Rules Rock. Thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. I do appreciate those. Those do make a difference. That's how come we have these nice new microphones that I've plugged in so we actually can hear me. And I know the audio's been better with the mic, so that's cool. So, Def Leppard Rules Rock. Question. Do you think that with the vaccine being hopefully right around the corner, it's possible that countries that actually have reopened to U.S. could ask for proof of that as an alternate to a test? Yeah, it's kind of like, the yellow booklets we have for vaccines when you go travel abroad. I wouldn't be surprised that's something you have to take with you again. I mean, that's what we had to take with 50 years ago, which sucks because I can't find Caleb's, and Caleb has all the shots and everything, and we had to go to 2 different doctors to get them, so I got to contact both of them to get it done. So, but they said it's not a problem. EJ Slip, is Tallinn Europe's most underrated city? I've surprised so many people when I tell them it's in my top 5. Yeah, Tallinn is fantastic. I think when you talk to Northern Europeans, they know. And Eastern Europeans, they know. You talk to Americans, they don't know, because anything past like Germany is like, what? So yeah, I mean, you'll always surprise people with Tallinn. I highly recommend it. I feel bad that I only have like 5 tips on Tallinn video, not like a love and hates and stuff like that, or a don'ts, because it is a cool place. And I've been there so many times. I used to work in Lithuania. I lived in Lithuania for 3.5 years, and I'd go up to Tallinn for parties, and I'd go up there for work, and I'd go up there to meet friends all the time. So yeah, good times. Let's see. So somebody was asking if I know how. Okay, so Amy asks, Mark, you mentioned COVID testing. Do you know how tests done? Blood drawn or what? Okay, so there's the up the nose one, and then actually what I do at work is I do a spit test. And there's actually a 15-minute test where they go up your nose, take the stuff, it's like a pregnancy test basically, and they test and see if you have antibodies. So there's actually some that can be done in 15 minutes. Some are 2 hours, some are 10 hours, some take a few days. It depends where you go. So there is that. Like my work one, I do it usually around noon, and I get it about midnight. If I do it like at 3 in the afternoon, I get it the next morning. I know our local Walgreens, because we're going to hopefully go on a trip soon, so we're scheduling tests for the boys. And they're like, yeah, it takes a few days to a week. I'm like, yeah, a test from like 6 months ago took that long, but you just got to figure out where you can get tested, because also you got to figure out where you can get tested, which is sometimes tough because they might say that, hey, you know what? We don't think you're at risk. So, because I know with the boys, we had that issue. So I'm like, no, we need to go get tested. So later, Brian, have a good time, buddy. So Lee Bridges has a question. Mark, in 2 weeks, the U.S. won't exist anymore, which I'm like, wait a minute, no politics, friends. I speak some Italian. I do that. Italy or France. I mean, I could tell you the place I would move to, no problem. Italy, France. I would go to Nicaragua, Rwanda, Brazil. So some good times. Good times. Well, Bella, the pregnancy test thing is why it's so quick. It's because there's the 15-minute test. It does, and then it shows up like 2 for pregnant, 1 for not. It's like 2 for COVID, 1 you're negative. I mean, it's something like that. So the CDC's website talks about it. I just read it today. Dante, what's your most favorite state in the union? I was surprised how much I liked Idaho. And I love Montana. Georgia's got a lot for you. I like the food. I like the variety because you got the mountains in the north and the coast by Savannah and the history there. The historic city, that's really nice. But I think Maine is one of my favorites because just the nature in Maine and stuff, and getting those lobster rolls on the side of the road. Oh, so good. Kirpan, do you need a COVID test to leave the U.S. from New York? Depends where you're going. So, Janeline Ramos, I teach marketing. Matt Jones asks, Mark, is it safe to drink the water in Western Europe? Yes, it is. It's required by law there, just like it's required by law here to make it. You could have that. So you can do that. Some place you'll see a lot of people drink bottled water. A lot of times because the water tastes like crap sometimes. So. But that's like here. Sometimes water tastes like crap. You're like, I'll drink bottled water. Like where I live, I drink the tap water fine. Jocelyn does not like it. She has to put lemon in it. But where my parents live, where I grew up, their water's so good that actually other companies use their water as bottled water because it's so good. So well, I got my doctorate at what is now the University of Lisbon. At the time was the Technical University of Lisbon, but it's from the University of Lisbon now. Let's see. Foxy313. Foxy was over on Bruce's channel. Thank you very much, Foxy, with all your questions. Once you're allowed to fly over to England with Bruce, Mark, would you like to meet up in Brighton in England at all? I would be fantastic. Actually, Brighton, we actually have a friend of ours that lives there, so that would be one of the places we'd go. That was one of the places we talked about doing our 2-week quarantine. But I think we'll end up doing, if we do the quarantine for the 2 weeks, do that there, we might go over to Wales because there's a house or a cottage we stayed in a couple years ago that it's in the middle of nowhere. It has great internet, so the kids can still do online schooling, and then we could be based there. So Let's see. What happened with my mom? Someone said, oh, hi all. I've been having problems chatting. Sound keeps going out. Sorry, Mom. You know I still love you. I could call you and you can just listen to me that way. Kimberly R. I'm 17. Love this channel. Hope to travel in the future. You will, Kimberly. There's lots of opportunities out there. If you go to college, there's a lot of short and long-term study abroad programs, so you can actually like get college credit. And excuse me, what's crazy is sometimes when you study abroad, you pay the tuition at the place you go to. So it's actually cheaper to do study abroad than it is to actually go to school at to pay the tuition at your own place. So kind of an interesting thing out there. Foxy, we'll have a pint together. Don't you worry. I'm sure we will. Let's see. Just jumped on me. Got back to him. Yes, Scapio Triano. Happy Ochi Day. Yes, thank you very much. I had a bunch of Greek stuff popping up. And Ochi Day. Oh, it's all over the place. So I'll let you talk about that in the chat below to tell everybody what it is. Oh, Kevin Turner has been to Maldives last year. I have not been there. That's one of the things I think when we do our India trip, India, Sri Lanka, Maldives, however you're looking at my hands going. That's kind of one we're kind of going to put kind of together. Have a good time with that. I like that. Travel Nick P. Mark Finley is taller in person. Yes, he is. Mark Finley is a rather tall man. He will be in the Christmas video this year as we ate at Portillo's for part of the video. John Park, hey, what do you think about the Canada-U.S. border closure? I think it's going to get extended again because numbers have gone up. I don't see it opening up before the end of the year, to be honest. Maybe spring. So, let's see. Gallivanting. See, since I'm letting it kind of run, I'm only getting part of people's conversations, so I apologize. So don't feel bad. If I didn't get your question, just post it again, like strategically when it starts to slow down in the chat so I can see it. Jack, I'm 16. Jack, you'll learn how to drive, man. Don't worry. It's easy. You'll figure it out. Calvin Young, I finally made a live stream. I hope you and the family are doing well. Yeah, we're doing good. Jocelyn's a little sick tonight, so she's upstairs chilling out. Oh, that's cool. EJ Slim. Thanks for everything you do, Mark. You inspired me to make a blog about my goal of going to all 30 Major League Baseball ballparks. I've been to 10 so far, so I'm 1/3 of the way there. That's awesome. And I know now it's tough because you can go to ballparks, but some won't even let you in because some will do tours. You go, like we're looking to go to Dallas and we want to do a tour of Jerry World, AT&T Stadium. I know it's not the Ranger Stadium, but like there's some stadiums you can go to. It's really kind of a cool thing. I know when I was a kid, I was a huge baseball fan. Like I would cut out the box score of the Cardinal games, and I actually had like a book of all the games, and it broke my heart when they did with the strike in '94. And I'll watch a game now and again, but like I was like diehard fan, and that really got me. It was really weird. Like usually things don't bother me. For some reason, I was so heartbroken because I was such a big fan. You know, it's like the Expos, it's their chance. They're not there anymore, but whatever. But that's cool, EJ. And I think it's good you make the blogs about it too, because there's a lot of people that do that or want to do that. So it's kind of a nice thing to do. Gabrielle asks, what's your favorite place in Greece? I was supposed to go there, but someone was canceled. We were too. I understand the pain. I like Crete, honestly. I also like Nafplio, the old capital. It's nice. This is a smaller town, but it's worth visiting. But I like Crete because I can do the beach stuff. I can do the beach that kind of Greek vacation, but I can also do historic stuff too. And Caleb's godmother's actually from there, so we go and see her family and stay with them. And I remember we stayed with their summer house, and it was like 110 degrees at night, and Joshua was laying on the tile floor like naked, trying to stay cold. I'm like, I'm dying, it's so hot. And Liam's like, I'm cold, and he's like wrapping his blankets up, so when he fall asleep, we had to take it off him so he didn't like cook. It was pretty funny. Let's see. Road trip with gun or for safety when hiking. So some people actually will do that when they're in bear country. But that's why you want to have the bear spray. It's like bear mace. You have that. So there are those things. It depends where you go, because some people might consider it conceal and carry. So make sure you have your conceal and carry permit. And like I have my FOID card, so you have your permission to have all the stuff. So do that if you are thinking about doing that. So there's that. Yeah, Wes, we're in Bozeman, Montana 4 weeks ago. And oh my God, that is a great town. It is. I mean, I know it's grown really fast, but yeah, we stayed at the Lewis and Clark Motel. actually. And I went and drank some beers down at the pubs on the main street there. Good times. Went to the Pickle Barrel, which I'm actually editing. Well, if you watch Jocelyn's What to Eat in Montana video, you'll see it was we're at our Lewis and Clark eating our pickle barrel sandwiches, which are like 18 inches long, but they're not like Subway sandwiches. They're like double the girth as well. And they're freaking awesome sandwiches, by the way. Montana, underrated. Definitely worth going to. I got the Don'ts in Montana. I'm editing that because I'm trying to get a lot of videos out now because I know a lot of people have been asking us to get back on international travel, and I still have those videos. So hopefully, because I'm working on the Don'ts in Montana, I got all the text in, so I just got to put the B-roll in. So that will probably be out this weekend, if not before. Maybe it'll be out on Friday. No, Friday I have a video from Wyoming that's coming out for Halloween, but I think it'll be on Saturday or Sunday. The Don'ts of Montana, which I filmed in Bozeman. And pardon over by Battle of Little Bighorn, other side of the state. So some stuff there. So Judy Horseman, do you and Jocelyn have a schedule of deadlines of when you book everything? How far in advance? What tourist destinations, attractions? So Judy, what we usually do is I'll have like a 3-year plan. Now the thing is, it's like the next 6 months is written in ink, but the rest is written in pencil because it's very fluid, right? Because a wedding might be happening or an event might happen or our fans tell us we want you to go there. So we kind of pencil things in. So we have rough dates when we're going to travel and a rough idea where we'd like to go. But like when I know we're going to have a big trip, like I know like our big summer Europe trip or our big summer Asia trip where I know we're going to do, I'll book that probably in December before we go. But if I'm going to look at like, spring break, I might not book until like 3 or 4 months out because I'm not sure we're going to go yet. Like right now, I mean, with COVID, I have nothing booked because everything's been canceled. But it really kind of depends because sometimes I'll look and see, I'm like, man, I know like Ireland in October is dirt cheap. So I will look for tickets when it gets to the price I feel comfortable with. So that's one of the things we kind of look at. Oh, wow. Amex is giving a $200 rebate for tickets booked in 2021. Nice. I'll have to look into that. So let's see. Sarah B. Best careers if you want to travel internationally often. It's not necessarily the job. It's the company you work for because that's a really tough one. Excuse me. Lee Bay, hi Walter. I'm in Kerry, Ireland. I am jealous. That's a beautiful place. I saw one of your videos where you mentioned we curse a lot. Oh, not all the time, but it makes me feel better about how much I curse. So hey, thank you for that. Let's see. So Lars has a good question. This is one people ask me a lot. Is traveling the amount you do, doesn't it get exhausting? Sometimes it does, but I will say the 7 months of no travel internationally has been horrible, and it's like ripped my soul out and broken my heart. I'm just glad I got to travel around America a couple times, so I feel better that I've gotten to do something and see the world and see people again. But I will say like one summer I had 13 weeks off and we were traveling 10 of it internationally, and the other 3 weeks I was going to other places in the U.S. And by the end of it, I was so happy that school started so I could go back to my normal job. And it took me about 3 or 4 weeks. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready to travel again. So I get physically exhausted, but I never want to stop traveling. Let's see. Foxy, you got to calm down with sending 10 of the same things, buddy. I appreciate it. I'm just going to put you in a little timeout because you sent 6 the exact same thing. So you gotta be careful. Don't worry, you'll be back. It's like 300 seconds. So you'll be back. But yeah, don't send 5 of the exact same thing. Amy does. I do one a year at a time. So our 3-year plan is kind of like a rough idea of a place I'd like to go in the next 3 years. So like we had this year kind of set up where like December was going to be Australia, New Zealand, and then like spring break was going to be Colombia, and then our February trip was going to be Trinidad and Tobago, and then April was going to be a fan choice, and then May was going to be, this last May was going to be Europe, but the next May was going to be Southeast Asia, and now it's now everything's up in the air because everything got canceled. So now we're just kind of figuring out what we're gonna do. So it's kind of like I look at it like I had a house of cards, and it's kind of like, oh, we'll take these first and these, and now they've all fallen down. So now the stack's there. It's like, hey, whatever we can do, we're gonna do. Okay, Jeffrey wants to know, can you talk about the ETIAS visa for Europe? So for Americans going to Europe in 2022, it might have been pushed back to 2023 now. I don't know. Americans will have to get a pseudo visa. It's e-visa. Same thing. Europeans have to get it when they come to the U.S. Basically, all you do is you go to a website. You say, here's my passport and here's my flights. There you go. And then it checks in. Like, I don't know why the airlines don't already do this for us, because it's kind of stupid because they already do, but whatever. Just another way to get another $20 from you. It shouldn't be a problem. And I will do videos for that when people are traveling again, because it's one of those things. Like if I put out videos about educating people about traveling Europe now, no one's watching them, and therefore no one's watching them now. YouTube will think no one likes them, so they'll never show them to anybody again. So I've kind of saved them back. That's why if you've noticed in our videos since COVID started, we haven't put out like the don'ts of France, the don'ts of Scotland. Well, we did put out don'ts of Scotland, but like we haven't put out a lot of like big locations because we know that those are ones that a lot of people are going to use and need. And if we put it out now, YouTube will see that no one's looking for travel. That means no one likes travel and no one likes to know this. So we want to make sure we can put it where the most people will get the most benefit from it. Dudley Do Right, thank you very much for the super chat. Remember your Doctor Who Knock Knock t-shirt? I found one at nice MOA for my collection. Very cool. My video yesterday for the Professor Wolters channel, it was Does Sex Sell? I was actually in the picture of Jocelyn, but when you get in there, it's me wearing the Doctor Who shirt. So very nice. I'm glad you found it. It's actually a cool shirt. I actually liked it. Eric McDonald, what's the best beer you've ever had? And where did you have it? My goodness. I know the worst beer I had. The worst beer I had was when I when you're a kid, your dad lets you sneak a sip, and you're like, oh my God, this is horrible. It's like 7, 8. That was horrible. I think it was PBR. But best beer? Well, I don't have best beer, but I have like go-to beers. So I like Weiss Stefana. I like their Hefeweizen beer and their normal original Pilsner. That's one we get here in the U.S. I like a lot. It's actually in my fridge right now. I'll go get one when I'm finished with this hunk of whiskey. I used to really like Švyturys from Lithuania. That was like my go-to beer when I lived there for, God, was that 3.5 years? 3.5 years there. But they changed ownership and recipe or something, because now, because I could used to be able to get it sometimes here in the U.S. and it just didn't taste the same. It was like, something's wrong here. So it's not quite. Any of my friends in Lithuania say, no, get Vilnius beer. It's better. I'm like, all right. Senor Tilapia. How do I leave the U.S. during a pandemic if Trump wins? Look, we don't talk about politics here because we want to make this a place without politics. But if you want to leave, if you want to travel, you can still travel internationally. You actually, CNN actually has a really good list of destinations where American citizens can go if you want to go travel. So there are a lot of options out there. Christian Leaf, what is the Wolters family ancestry? So my dad's family is German, and actually German part actually goes into where Lithuania is. So Lithuania, that's why I joke with my buddy Alvi, who's Lithuanian. I'm like, this is why we get along so well. We're cousins. So his family's mostly German. His mom had some English there. My mom's a mutt. Like, she's got Scottish, English, French, and stuff. So there's a lot of things there. So my mom and I, last year, we went to Scotland together to go see, like, our family graves and stuff like that in Aberdeen and the Shetland Islands. And then we were supposed to go this year to France and Germany in the Alsace region and by Stuttgart, because we had family there too. And so we were trying to do that. So my mom and I is like trips of just us is really doing the Ancestry stuff. And I had the videos prepared for what we do, some advice to get the most out of genealogy travel to help people out. But since we didn't get to the trip, it's just sitting there in my future script stuff. Nothing. I mean, I love it. Nothing but ballers all the way. Yeah, I'm going to tell my son that. All ballers, man. He'll be like, cool, loser dad. Anyway, let's see. Logan asks, would you go back to China? I would. I love my time in China. What was cool is my I have a lot of Chinese students that are here, and it really helped me understand my Chinese students better. And they were so happy I was there. They actually, for the next like 3 or 4 years after I went, they would come and talk like, we know you went there. And so we'd have really good conversations, and it really helped me bond more with my students here. And I'd like to go back. I'd go back and teach. I get invitations to go back and teach in the summers. But the problem is they send the invitations so late that I've already signed up. Like last 2 years I've taught with the university in Vienna, and next year I'm teaching at the university in Vienna. So it is what it is. Let's see. Contrain Rex, what's the best restaurant in the U.S.? Culver's. For a butter burger, cheese with ketchup, mayo, and cheese curds. That's my go-to. It's a fast food restaurant based from Wisconsin. I just love it. And my students laugh because I talk about it so much. Their chief marketing officer actually came to my marketing class and surprised me. So that was pretty funny. Contrain Rex, what's the best non-U.S. destination during COVID? I would say outdoor destinations like national parks. Lots of really beautiful national parks throughout the U.S. and national monuments and all kinds of places you can go. That's my kind of recommendation of places to go. We talked about it a lot earlier in the chat. Contrain Rex, I actually have a bunch of videos about it. One is like, I think I've taught it last week, what you should know before you travel again. So if you look on there, that'll help you because I actually talk about that. Let's see. Nicholas, how are you? Good to see you. What's up, Wolters? You the man. Thank you very much. Obviously not one of my students because no one's that nice to me. Hope you're doing well. Tosh T, Tosh T is a great commenter, great adder of information. I got to say thanks to him. He's awesome. Been with us since I think we had like 4 subscribers, and somehow is still here. I don't know why, but I appreciate it, Tosh. You're great. Joss and I still talk about you all the time. And like, it's funny because like Tosh comments on a lot of stuff on Jocelyn's channel too. And YouTube does not give us a notification for this. I almost thought Jocelyn came out because I said Tosh. She doesn't feel good, but she's waving at you, Tosh, just so you know.
Yeah, I'm just going to get some water.
She's getting some water, but I think it's because I said Tosh out loud. She came out.
Tosh.
She says hi.
And everyone else.
Yeah, you don't sound too good, babe. Let's see. So, Headers, how do you keep your family on task while you travel? Keep my family on task. No one's on task, babe. Would you say, is anyone on task? We don't know. She says we don't know the meaning of it. So basically, what I do is I actually go film in the morning, and then I come get them later, and then we go around and go see stuff. So that's what we end up doing. Oh man. Let's see. Oh, Chris Bates, worst beer, Mickey's Big Mouth. Maybe it was how many in college, but I won't drink it again. So Chris Bates, oddly enough, I saw a friend of mine this weekend, and like he was in my wedding. We've been friends since high school, and usually we get together. It's him, me, and another friend. And the other friend always brings Mickey's wherever we meet. We've met in New Orleans. We've met in like, we have like yearly get together guys trips. And he always brings like a 6-pack of Mickey's that we have to drink right away. And my buddy Matt's like, thank God Goffner's not here because we don't have to drink Mickey's. So I'm like, I hate it too. It's like, we've got to get him to stop bringing that stuff because it's horrible. So yeah, Mickey's is pretty bad. No offense, Mickey's, but not my jam. It's okay, Foxy313. I understand. Kristen Leave, I'm glad I could answer your question. No problem. Let's see. Anita says, I love that you like Idaho so much. We moved here 22 years ago from Minnesota, and I still find things to appreciate about Idaho. I've never been to lava beds yet. Here's the thing is Idaho, for a lot of people, I actually put in our shocks video, it's not just a wasteland of nothing. I mean, it's really very diverse. Mountains, forests. They have Craters of the Moon National Monument, which is actually where they went and trained for the moon landings. There's the waterfalls there. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. People are super nice. There's like nobody there. It's very not sparsely well, it's a very sparsely populated state. But I mean, honestly, we had a cabin in kind of like outside Yellowstone in Idaho. We were there for 7 nights there. And I'm like, this is awesome. I'd go back like that. The kids would go back like that. We just loved it. So good times. And my friend Megan O, that's the one for the steak fingers and fry sauce. And I can't believe I said finger steaks or steak fingers, not finger steaks, because we got it right in Jocelyn's video. Then when I did it by myself, I totally messed up. I'm like, oh, I'm such an idiot. But I'm like, I can't change it. So anyway, let's see. Oh, I got a big jump. Sorry, buddy. Oh, Contrarian Rex, thank you very much for the super chat. That's very nice of you. You can always ask another question too. I appreciate it. Let's see. Oh, AK Hooper, I was just in Serbia most of the month, now in Macedonia. Cool. That's Serbia. If Americans are looking to go places, you can go to Serbia right now. There is that. So googly. What is the favorite thing you have seen in a museum, art or artifact? I never really thought about that. I think one of the things I thought was really cool is in the Museum of the Rockies in Bozeman, Montana, they actually have, for Triceratops and Tyrannosaurus Rex, they have skulls from like infant to old. So there's like 20 skulls, like size getting bigger and bigger and bigger of Tyrannosaurus Rex and of Triceratops. I thought that was the coolest thing. If you watch our video on what to take on road trip advice or what to take on a road trip in 2021, put it out today. If you go towards the end of the video, I actually have me going by all the heads and then showing you a big one. I thought that was really cool. What else? I thought seeing the kiss from Klimt in Vienna at Schloss Belvedere was really cool. That was a really nice one. And then there's like I remember going to what's the big museum in Kansas City? It's escaping me right now. Like their collection just surprised me how great it was. So lots of good stuff. So Contrarian Rex looking to travel again to Europe, Austria, Czech Republic, Hungary. Great, perfect. When do you think the EU will be open again? I think probably in the summer sometime. There'll be some kind of test and release program. So you have to test, make sure you're COVID free, then go. I hope. Because I would love to teach in Austria this summer, but I don't think it's going to happen, but it'd be cool if I could. Let's see. Oh, got a big jump there. I apologize. Let's see. Tosh T. Daniel is the best Daniel is the best restaurant in the U.S. Late as usual, sorry if I asked. Do you and the fam have Halloween plans? So, Tosh, right now our Halloween plans, I don't know. Because I think we can trick or treat here. But we don't know what we're going to do. So we're actually thinking about if we're all feeling up to it, if Jocelyn's not still sick, we might do a live thing on the Friday night and just have drinks with you, our friends, and do that so we can at least have some Halloween time with everybody. But I'm going to guess what'll probably happen. We'll take the boys. Well, Caleb want to go to a friend's house, but they don't have that right now. We'll probably just go to a few friends around here and get candy because you have to like leave the candy out in separate bags. We might do that, but I think we'll just watch like scary movies. But like Liam doesn't like scary movies, so it'll be like scary, like Jumanji, scary. So we'll probably do that. Adders, thank you very much for the super chat. Couple bucks for your next adventure. Super jealous. Can't do it on my own. For my own family, but good for you, man. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. And I think that's one of the things I really like that we do with our videos so we can help other families travel when they can travel. And I know not everybody can travel all the time like we do. And I know we're blessed to be able to do these things. And Otters and Nicholas and Rex and everybody that's been helping out. And all of you that watch the commercials and stuff, you help us be able to do these videos and help other people travel. And I want to say thank you because for me, it's like taking you along with the ride. Be like, okay, what would they want to know? I mean, I want to make sure they have the best time possible. So if you go on that one trip you get to go on with your family, you don't have to worry about stuff. You can know as much as you can so you're better prepared. So I'm trying to. Yeah, Anita's like, don't tell people how good Idaho is. Sorry about that. Nicholas Kuntz, thank you very much for the super chat. Just got my dual citizenship with Switzerland. What's the best spot to travel to? I got stuck. Sorry. The best spot to work, travel, Europe. So the work travel stuff like you have in Australia, the US, you don't have that so much in Europe. Those kind of places where you can pick stuff up. There's a lot of that in Eastern Europe, and there's a bunch in like Spain and stuff to do. But yeah, man, you got the Swiss passport. That is tough to get. The Swiss passport, man, it's not just like they give it to you. You got to like your neighbors like vote for you to get it in some places. So that's cool, dude. Awesome. Let's see. So Dennis, do you keep any kind of travel journal? I'm making one with coins, stamps, and drawings of the places I go. I love that drawings one. We try to get the boys to do drawings and stuff. They'll do some occasionally, so we keep those and we frame them. We used to do the pressed coin thing. but the boys got old and they didn't think it was cool anymore. So really, honestly, my memories of doing this is actually this, like the videos you all watch. That's where I go back. And sometimes people will be like, well, sometimes it feels like we're watching your family videos. I'm like, yeah, because for me, this is something I can go and watch. Feel like, oh my God, look how little the boys were, you know? And it's something nice for me because that's one thing you do. Because we all take all these pictures and all these videos with our digital cameras, but how often we go back and look at them? And this is one way I get to go back and look at it and see these things and put it in like, oh my goodness. You know, I saw some ones, I was going through videos looking for something for a business video I had. And when I was going through, I found a picture of Liam. And Caleb and I were doing like basically like downward dog, and Liam was a baby and he was crawling between us. And so I just like watched those videos forever. It was like, oh, taking us back. Traveling the world. Mark, are you going to release the Yellowstone videos? You've been there and said that you would release it soon. What are your next videos? Okay, so because Kara and Nate got in big trouble for filming in national parks because you have to have permits and stuff. I actually filmed our Yellowstone in Idaho outside of it. I'm not sure if I can use my B-roll I have, so I'm trying to figure those things out. But I'm trying to put it like with emojis and fun stuff in there so I can put the video out. So that's still in the process of getting edited and put together. So it's coming. Don't you worry. Oh, big jump there. Kristen Leaf, welcome to the family. Helpful Traveler, a new member. Thank you so much. Oh, Contrarian Rex. Wow. Thank you. That's quite a super chat, my friend. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Wow. Thank you. I can just say thank you. That's cool. Thank you so much. I'm kind of like speechless now. That's awesome. Thank you. Pangate from the Philippines. That was one of the places I was thinking about going next year. One of the churches we go to actually goes every other year to the Philippines for a service project. So I was going to go with them hopefully next year, but I don't know if they're going to be doing it now. So hopefully we can do that. Yes, Terry and Mark Finley had an anniversary this week. So happy anniversary to them. Let's see. Okay, EJ Slim, this is a good question. Any dangerous places you would not travel to? Not because of the people, because of the wildlife. Oh, the wildlife. I'm kind of scared to visit the Amazon or the Australian outback because of the animals. So Amazon, you'll be fine. Don't worry. The animals are always hidden. You actually won't see very many animals. Australia, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that can kill you in Australia. Liam watched the 72 most dangerous animals in Australia on Netflix, and he's like, I'm never going there. I'm like, we'll be fine. Just make sure. Dump your shoes out every morning to make sure. So, but no, wildlife-wise, no. There's a place I won't go because of safety, like war zones, or a place where too many people are getting kidnapped, or there's a lot of like political violence. That's where you just don't want to be in the wrong place, at the wrong time. Matt Jones, I'm aware Europe is a continent. Yes, it is. Oh, thanks, Intra and Rex. Enjoy your channel for years. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Oh, woman collects the fridge magnets wherever they go. Very nice. New money. Very nice. Oh, so for those of you that are members and don't know yet, we actually have a Facebook group called the Superheroes of Wolters World, or Superheroes Helping to Travel the World of Wolters World. It's our kind of our group for our YouTube members and our patrons on Patreon. So make sure you send me an email and we'll get you into that. So thank you very much, Christian, sorry. I think the whiskey's starting to get to me. Kristen Leaf, ladies and gents, how do I donate a tip? So the super chat is not available in every country. If there's a $sign down below where you chat, then you can. If not, then you can't. So it's okay. You're a member and I appreciate it. Lori Sims, a big thumbs up for all watching. Yes, thank you everybody that's watching. I really appreciate it. It's nice being here. We're an hour in and still got much more stuff to talk about. Let's see. Oh, Darian. Darian's in the house. Good to see you, Darian. Darian was over with me when I was talking about travel with Bruce. There is that. Oh, Sawa. I've had this question before too. Mark, when you earned your doctorate, was it accepted easy in the U.S. since it was from a foreign country? Or did you need an equivalency exam? I was thinking of doing a master's of finance in Paris. In Paris, you'll be fine. It depends where you get it and what certifications they have. So like University of Lisbon, where I got my PhD, they're AACSB certified. So like that's the certification thing. You just want to make sure it's certified by one of the bigger, if it's in Europe, a European board or a US board or something like that, then you'll be fine. I didn't have any problems. I teach at the University of Illinois, which is a pretty good school. And I got my PhD in Portugal and they took me. So, and just like anywhere else, if you, it doesn't matter what I tell my students, like, look, your degree only matters like the first 2 years out. It's what you do after that matters. It's the same thing with the PhD stuff. Foxy313, how can you become a member of this channel? You'll look for a join button down below and you can do that. Captain's Table MDR, as a seasoned traveler, do you buy souvenirs anymore on your travels, or is it all the same stuff? We buy paintings from local artists that we see on the streets. That's what we buy. We get that. That's our go-to. Actually, we have a whole wall here of paintings, and we got a whole closet full of more paintings that one day we'll frame, but because the frames are way more than the actual paintings are. Because it's like, oh, it's a $5 painting. That was really cute, and it's like a $40, $50 frame. I'm like, ew. So there's that. Oh, Christian Leaf, thank you for God. See, seriously, the whiskey. I better pour some more. Christian Leaf, thank you very much for the super chat. Says, you're my hero, Walter. I figured out how to donate. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I probably should get some mixer with this because, ooh. I drink alone, but I don't because I'm drinking with you all if you're drinking. Oh, here's an idea I want to throw past y'all. Let's say we did a live feed with Jocelyn's channel, and like I put out a thing earlier in the week saying, hey, we're going to be making drinks with Jocelyn. So here's the liquor and the like mixers or the bitters or whatever to make. And we have a few things so like people could make the drink with her. I don't know what you all think about that to try to get some more interactive fun with Jocelyn's channel. Hey, Chris in the Philippines. Very nice place. I know all the people from my church that have gone there. I've had a really good time. I've had a lot of, actually one of my old roommates was from the Philippines. He was a cool dude. His mom was hilarious. I mean, she made amazing food. She'd always bring it when she'd visit. Such good times. Miss Steve, he was a good dude. Let's see. So David asks, hey, Mark, how do you organize all your travel footage and photos? It seems like you have some very good tagging system. So what I do is when I go on a trip, like in my files, I have, first it's by year, and then I'll go like, for example, this year, 01 is Atlanta. And because I went to Atlanta, so I take all the pictures from there and it goes in that file. 02, 2 weeks later, we went to Space Camp with Liam, so it's Space Camp photos. So I have the stuff divided up that way, so it's easy for me to go back to. And it's kind of like any trip you go on, I will divide it up. Like when we do like the 8-week trips, I will have like these are the Belgium and Luxembourg pictures and videos. This is the Paris videos and pictures. This is the Strasbourg and Bordeaux ones. So it's easier for me to kind of go back and find them, and so I do that. So it's easier to like find that B-roll to put in. So like today I made the advice for what to pack on our road trip in the US in 2021. And I'm like, wait, I have pictures and video from earlier this summer when we went to Georgia for like the soft-sided cooler and stuff. And so I knew that I'd go there and like, oh, Georgia road trip, boom, go there. So, and it's funny because I'll be like, oh, I have this picture I want to use that was on our trip to Venice in 2012 because this is what happened there. And I'll be like, oh, that's it. So it's weird how like things will pop up in my head. Yes, interactive drink with Jocelyn. Okay, Matt Jones. Mark, what is the one item you cannot travel without? Jocelyn. No, I actually have a video of things to always take with you. Things I always take fingernail clippers because I go for so long. You gotta cut your nails. I take a deck of Uno cards because you can always play Uno with anyone if you don't speak the language. I take a bottle opener because not every place does twist tops. What else do I always have with me? I take a flashlight, like a tiny flashlight. I never use it because there's one on my phone. Yeah, those are things. There's nothing like the only thing I worried was like when we leave, I'm like, where are the passports? That's all I care about. I'll figure everything else out later. So, ooh, Kevin Turner. My next trip is a driving tour of Italy. Have you visited the Dolomites? Yes, I have. The Dolomites. I mean, shoot, for reals, don't know. Dolomites. There's these mountains that have been eroded away and make these crazy formations, dude. You'll love it. It's gorgeous up there. There's all these little villages, and very few tourists go up that way. So it's like you, the locals, and the Dolomites. Oh, Kevin, I am jelly, as the kids would say. Dave DeFore, thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. I miss Paris. I did too. Canceled twice this year before I gave up for now. Looking for a good road trip from Indiana. Love what you do, Mark. Thanks, Dave. Yeah. Oh, and they got rid of the Paris-Indianapolis flight too. Did you see that, Dave, with Delta? We were using that. I mean, God, I've been on that flight like 5 times. It was great because we just drive around India. Boom, we're in Paris. It was awesome. Yeah. I think road trip from Indiana. So you could do one way. You could go, you want to do a loop kind of thing. You could go down, do the Whiskey Trail in Kentucky, and then go into Tennessee to Pigeon Forge, go out to North Carolina, which is gorgeous, go to Asheville, see the Biltmore that's there, and then go to the Research Triangle with Raleigh and all that, and then go to the Outer Banks. Then you can kind of come back and hit like Pigeon Forge on the way and see Dollywood and stuff like that. Or you could go down and you could go like Nashville and then hook over to Natchez to New Orleans. Then when you come back up, you hit Memphis and then go back over. There's that. So there's some stuff for that way. I mean, it depends how far you want to go. I mean, because Indiana's an hour from me that way. So you could like there's you can pretty much go anywhere because we're kind of in the middle. So something to think about. Let's see. Choki, is there any country? Yes, there's like 100 countries I haven't been to, so I still got a long way to go. Long way to go. Gotta work on it. Gotta make you all proud and try to get every country. Because people are like, why haven't you had this country? I'm like, I got a day job, so I'm limited, but we travel every time we can. But we will. We'll do our best. Reggie and her man, don't forget the thumbs up. Yeah, hey, thumbs up are much appreciated. And here's a funny thing. Live feeds, every live feed we do, we lose about 100 subscribers. So when we were doing all those live feeds in March, April, and May, we actually lost about 3,000 subscribers. Like, I think the month of April, we had negative subscribers for the month because we lost so many people. I don't know why, and it's not just my channel. I've talked to a number of YouTubers, and when they do live feeds, a lot of them, unless they only do live feeds, a lot of them lose subscribers when they do it. I don't know why, but kind of a funny thing. Let's see. Nicholas says, you should do a video on Big C shocks. Went to London after living in a town of 500 last year. Great Scott, that was wild. That actually is a good idea. Like, I've done some, like, small town ones, and I think that could be fun. Like, shocks are going to a small town, shocks are going to a big city. Because that could definitely work. That could definitely work. I could definitely do that. Thanks. I appreciate it, Dave. Much appreciated. So Foxy313, I hope you don't mind me asking you, Mark, but would you have a family reunion mass gathering in the future once free of social distancing? Of course I would. We always we do family gatherings. Jocelyn's family's like half Greek, so they're like all about tons of people and craziness. So yeah. No, Walter has a day job. Yeah, we all do. Everybody's got to pay the bills, man. Everybody's got to pay the bills. So yes, Minnesota is fantastic in the summer. Jocelyn used to go there every summer, and she still talks about it to this day. And it's been quite a few years since then, so there is nice. Thank you, Fox, for reminding people to subscribe. I'm gonna guess everyone here is probably subscribed by now. I really appreciate it. Those that haven't, if you want to subscribe, please do. If you don't like the videos, it's okay. You don't have to subscribe. I'm here to help you when you do need to travel. So if you only watch us occasionally, that's totally fine. I'm totally cool with that. You just whatever we can help you, I'm glad we can. Lars, I can't attend most of the live streams, but I would never unsubscribe from you. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Samurai, have you ever been to Australia? Yes, I was an exchange student in Australia when I was in high school, and we were supposed to go back this Christmas. But alas, that COVID thing, I'm sure some of you heard of. And here's one of those things. What was I going to say? Because there's about the Australia one. Dang it. My mind just jumped. Maybe I should switch from whiskey to beer. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I lived in Germany. Yeah, so I've lived in high school, I was an exchange student in Australia and Finland. In college, I was an exchange student in Austria and Argentina. I did my master's in Germany. I went and lived. I worked in Lithuania for 3.5 years. I lived and worked in Brazil. I did my PhD in Portugal for 5 years. I've taught in about, I don't know, 15, 20 countries. So lots of different places. Let's see. So Sultan, I think live in Twitch is better than YouTube because YouTube puts down live when in a channel you have live and normal videos. Yeah. So I agree. Twitch is better for that. My audience is not really much onto Twitch. I probably should do some stuff there. And like, cause there was a way you could actually stream to Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube at the same time. And we were doing that for a bit, but then the thing I was using wanted to charge some stupid price for it. I'm like, there's somebody who can do this for free. So I kind of got away from it, but I'm sure I'll get back to trying to do all of them at the same time. But yeah, Twitch is good for live. So Matt Jones, Mark, was there ever a time you were scared that you wouldn't get back home when you were abroad? Not really, but there was a couple times I was scared I wouldn't get back for an exam and I was going to fail a class. And that was when I was living in Argentina and I got nailed by the border guards in Paraguay. It was a total scam. Like they knew when people came in, they wouldn't give them stamps when they came in. So when they leave, they're like, "Oh, you owe money," and they got all my money. And so I got back on a 24-hour bus ride from Asuncion and had to walk to the school to take the exam. I mean, I was in college. I'm like, I'll get back at like 6 in the morning. The exam's at 8. We'll be fine. I mean, I passed. I got an A in the class, so it worked fine. But yeah. There was only that. And there was the time I was in Chile and I had the wrong date. And there was a Prodigy concert involved and hostile time. And, there's that. But I've never been scared I wouldn't get home. And now I really try to avoid those things with the kids and stuff. So I try to, I'm sure we'll be more crazy stuff later when the kids have moved out and done their own things. But we'll see. Thank you again, Contrarian Rex, for the super chat. I mean, thank you. I just gotta say thank you. So James Cook, Mark, which country have you been to where no alcohol is allowed? I haven't really been to any country it's not allowed, but there has been. What's up, Brig? Brig's like howling. But there's been places there have been counties that are dry, and I'm like, what? We went to Kentucky Lake and it was dry. I'm like, we can't get beer. What a horrible place. What are we supposed to do? So there's that. Jacek, what classes did you teach? I teach marketing. Actually, if you go to my Professor Wolters channel, if you look at Professor Wolters on YouTube, you actually see hundreds of videos in marketing and business education that I do. That's stuff I do, like my other hobby of teaching. Let's see. A travel adventure with Eric B. My buddy Eric B. He does travel videos. He's got a bunch of stuff from the southeast of the U.S. He's enjoying that Hurricane Louisiana weather and enjoying the fact that Tua is going to be the new quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. So good to see. Okay, so Contrarian Risks. Whiskey Wednesday. Irish whiskey versus bourbon. What say you? So, I honestly, oh my God, Liam is brushing his teeth. This is crazy. But did Mom even ask you to brush your teeth? Oh, she asked you. I thought Liam was brushing his teeth on his own. A 9-year-old brushing his teeth. It's crazy. It's like, oh my God, I didn't have to yell at him to do it. Honestly, I'll do either of them. If I will never mix Irish whiskey. It's just like, I will drink that straight. Like, well, on the rocks. That'll drink, but like bourbon is what, like I mix bourbon to make a Jack and Ginger and stuff like that. But Irish whiskey, no, I will never. Scotch, I would never. That's like on the rocks, done. The rest are good. What's up, Brig? Brig's like whining. I'm like, you got 3 walks today. Let's see. Lee Bridges, Mark, national stereotype that were completely demolished when you got there. I don't know. Like, because me, myself, I try not, like, the stereotype stuff, like, I mean, I'd have to think, like, 20 years ago, I'm like, oh, I never thought about this. I think the stereotype that has been totally destroyed in my mind is the idea of the unfriendly, unhappy, I hate American French person, which, frankly, the reason why the French have a bad reputation is because of the waiters in Paris. Because, honestly, when I go to France and everyone is so wonderful, I just can't say enough about it. I just love it. Dudley Do Right. Minnesota doesn't have seafood. Have you all those lakes? You got plenty of fish, which is technically seafood. So we have that. Oh, Allison Rado's here? I don't see her thing. Hey, Allison. Let's see. Yes, Foxy, I'm sure we'll bump into each other somewhere. No problem whatsoever. Let's see. Film to Scotland Market. I'm curious if you started the channel with that in mind. I remember first seeing your content 8 or 9 years ago. That's maybe how the channel has grown, or was it just for fun? No, I did the channel for fun. And honestly, the travel stuff came because I got really tired of all the BS things that were out there in guidebooks and blogs and stuff. Brig, come here. Come here, Brig. Come here. He's whining like something's wrong. What's wrong, buddy? Oh, you're sore. So Brigadier, our dog, he's got 2 bionic knees. When you get a free dog, they're never free. Let me tell you. And I think he's a little sore because he's limping. I think he had too many walks today. So, Christian Valdez in the house. Nice, Christian. My Memphis brother, I love you, man. Wait, we're going to figure out that song. We're going to figure out the title song for Wolters World. We're going to get it one of these days. Don't you worry. Ronnie Dove, good to see you. Oh, good to see you. Goodbye, buddy. Hope you're doing well. So, Chris Bates. So, Chris is down in Arizona. He's like, I'm wondering if there will be Canadian and Midwestern snowbirds coming to Arizona this year. It's going to be no Cubbies for Chicago folks, but great weather. I think you'll still have the snowbirds from the Midwest. I don't think you're going to have the snowbirds from Canada, though. You have some, but if they drive down, you won't. But if they fly down, they might. Oh, Brig. He's having a tough time with his legs right now. You'll be okay, buddy. Let's see. Jacek. Scotch whiskey is always good. Loser boozer. All you need is Jack Daniels. The rest is just details. We'd have a good time together. I have not had Blanton's. Sadly, I'm not a whiskey connoisseur. A buddy of mine is. And he's like, you do whiskey Wednesdays. I should do whiskey Wednesdays. I'm like, you should do whiskey Wednesdays because you talk about whiskey. I'll just come drink in the background. Yes, Foxy, we have a dog. He's just having a tough day. Beach, how many months out of the year are you traveling? 4 or 5 months, probably. Matt Jones, Mark, have you ever suffered food poisoning abroad? Have I ever? So the last international trip we had, we got bad water. The guy was just being helpful, and we got bad water. And I was like, it was like tar. It was horrible. And it was about 1:30 in the morning, and I'm like on the toilet for the 19th time, and we fly the next morning out, and there was an earthquake outside of El Salvador on the coast, and we're on the coast. I'm like, I'm going to die in a tsunami, shitting myself, pardon my language, pooping myself on this toilet. Luckily, there was no tsunami or anything, so that was good. But I remember going, what a way to go. So, yeah, there's been a few times we've had it pretty bad. Honestly, the last few years, we haven't had too many. When I was in China, I'd occasionally get it because of the street food. But I loved it so much I didn't care. Jocelyn's still mad at me. She's like, you keep eating it. You keep getting sick. I don't care because it tastes so good. Let's see. Joe Broyard, thank you very much for the super chat. What European country is most underrated or overlooked? Slovenia. Because what you have is sometimes places get overlooked because they're not on the way to another place. And to go to Slovenia, you're like kind of going to Slovenia. What's up, Brig? You're not really like you have to go there, and so a lot of people are kind of it's like Trieste and Trieste in Italy. People you have to be able to that has to be your destination to go there. Bordeaux in France, you got to be going to Bordeaux because most of you go to France to go someplace else. You're going to Barcelona or whatever. Bordeaux, you got to just go to Bordeaux to go to Bordeaux. Slovenia is one of those places. It's just gorgeous. Highly recommend it. I just jumped around. Sorry. Henry Martinez is on here, and my thing froze. I'm sorry. Hey, Martinez. Hey, Mark. How's your evening going for me other than Poltergeist? Ooh, the scariest movie for me was Arachnophobia. Did you ever see those? Yes, I've seen both of those. And actually, one of the guys in Arachnophobia was from my hometown. So when I was a kid, that was the famous person from Quincy. I think he was the priest, maybe. Who's the heavyset guy that dies, in there. Yeah, Poltergeist, man, that freaked me out as a kid, man. That totally freaked me out. That was one of those ones like on USA, and I'm like, oh my goodness. But I'm not a big scary movie fan. That's just not my cup of tea. Oh, let's see. Oh, hey, just jumped again on me. Topolotto, torno, aspettiamo in maggio. Vediamo se possiamo entrare, però se possiamo entrare, ritorniamo in maggio. So in May. Mark, it's also cool that you're doing more live streams towards the end of the year. I hope you guys can do more holiday type ones. Enjoy your evening. So Henry, we're thinking we might do like a Halloween, drinks with Jocelyn on Jocelyn's channel. If you're looking for Jocelyn's channel, it's called Simply Jocelyn, and you can go there. Hold on, I gotta let the dog out because I think he doesn't feel good. So I'll be back in 1 sec. 1 sec. Well, actually, try 30 seconds. Come on, baby. I know you're not feeling good. They go home. So, sorry. I don't have one of those cool. I got to get the thing where it's like I walk away and I can push a button and it's like, oh, here's all this cool stuff you can learn. Da da da. Sorry, I'm not. If you watch my videos, we're not really up on the cool editing and awesome knowing what the hell we're doing stuff. So. Let's see. Jacek, I want to go to Africa, but I don't know which. I thought about Botswana or Rwanda. Have you been visited Africa? Yes. We love Rwanda. Highly recommend it. Go. It's safe. It's cool. Beautiful stuff to see. Do the gorilla trekking. It's vegetarian food everywhere, but it's fantastic vegetarian food. You'll love it. I can't say enough good about it. Botswana's cool too. So either way, you can't lose. So let's see. Oh, it just jumped. I'm sorry. Yeah, Foxy, I was just speaking Italian a little bit ago. So, Jack, hey, Mark, where's the best night sky you've ever seen? If you go to Idaho or Montana where there's not fires, because that will mess things up, great. I mean, big sky country. You can't beat that. That's got great views. The north of Finland, I was up there, saw the Northern Lights up there. It was like we went out for Finnish Independence Day, which I think is December 6th. And they're like, they took us out in the middle of this forest, and they've got like these little like candle fires going around. They're like, and we're here to show you Finnish fireworks. Look up. We looked up, and the Aurora Borealis is going. I'm like, oh my god, that was so cool. But there's some really good places like outside of Brecon Beacons. There's 11 or 12 dark sky spots around the world. They're like international parks or places where you have really amazing night skies. So, Umar, imagine hell. Why would I imagine hell? Matt Joe, Mark, what's your favorite nation flag? The Stars and Stripes, of course, where I'm from. Let's see. Oh, just jumped around. Sorry. Lee Bridges. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Rwanda was fantastic for tourists. So. Let's see. Jax asks, what's the best state to visit in New England? I think Maine is the best one to go to. I really love Maine. Vermont's also really nice and beautiful, but I just think Maine with the coastline and the little towns along the coast and the lobster rolls. And oh my God. So good. You take a schooner trip, a boat trip up there. So nice. Jacek, yes, we do. We have a don'ts of Washington, D.C. and what to eat in Washington, D.C. But my buddy Rob at Trip Hacks D.C., we actually did a bunch of interviews with him recently. Trip Hacks D.C., if you want anything on D.C., go to his channel. He's got so much to help out. Definitely the place to be. Let's see. The states I haven't been to yet, Alaska, Hawaii, Oregon, North Dakota, Utah. I think I've been to Colorado when I was younger, but I'm not 100% sure. But those are the ones. Let's see. Allison, I did not have the Huckleberry popcorn while I was in Idaho, but I had about 9,000 other Huckleberry things, so feeling good. I've already eaten all the Huckleberry jam I brought back with me. Choki, you have great knowledge of nations and cultures. Thank you, Joe. That's a really nice compliment. I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, the community has already subscribed to Jocelyn's channel. Thank you very much. You have your cast iron pans. Nice, nice. Jocelyn actually has 2 new pans. She's going to do a couple unboxings for us. So she'll have some new stuff to show you. Yeah, Jack, New England is really fun for the history. There's all kinds of little small museums around, that like history museums in the small towns, which is really, really nice to do. The handshake, Foxy. Handshake to you, too. Hey, Liam, can you let Brig in? Thanks, buddy. So, well, come here. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi, buddy. You doing okay?
Yeah.
How's Mom doing?
Good.
Good? She's still sick or she's just tired?
She's slightly sick, but more tired.
Slightly sick, a little tired. Okay. Let's see. Sarfraz, any advice about traveling in Indian subcontinent? I just know that you will get sick, so just be prepared for that. Because some people are surprised when they get sick when they go to India, because of the food or because of water or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to go home." No, as long as you're prepared, you know it's going to happen. Bring the meds for it and plan that in. Like, well, no, you're going to get ill, so like, look, I got a couple day buffers so I can like recover and then go, because it does happen. But cool place to visit. We're looking to go probably a 2-month trip there. That was a 2022 trip, which now is God knows when we're going to do these things. So there's that. Travel Mom. Well, 2021 might be your Alaska year. That's right. Yeah, it would probably be a family cruise. Probably bring my parents and maybe your mom and stuff with us. So we'll see. Yeah, Mark Finley was just in Monument Valley. Brig, don't sniff the microphone. Here, there's Brig. You want to say hi, Brig? You want to say hi? There's Brigadier. So he's saying hi. If you hear the sniffing, that's just him sniffing. I know. I love you too, buddy. Oh, God, now he's trying to sit on my lap. Okay. CPB, what about Romania? Romania is cool. If you're going to go, I recommend going to the Transylvania part of the country because you've got more towns that are like tourist-worthy-ish to go. Bucharest, the capital, has got a few sites. I like the Peasant Museum, and also there's a park there that they brought up buildings from all over the country that's there. I think it's still there. It's been a while since I've been, so I have to look at that. Yes, Brig, I know. I love you too. Yes. Usually does this earlier in the night, not, an hour and a half in. So let's see. Bye, Amy. See you later. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Oh, Jim Fred went to Mrs. Wilkes in Savannah last week because you mentioned one of your videos. Great food. They have us lots of extra sides that we didn't order. Boiled peanuts are interesting. Yeah, first time I had boiled peanuts, I ate the whole thing. They're like, no, dude, like pop, eat. So we had a fun time. Oh, you're hungry. Oh, that's what it is. He's hungry. So I probably should give him a little snack real quick. Allison, who votes for more dog? Yeah, he is a gorgeous dog. He's a beautiful dog. He's the best dog ever. Jacek, I've not been there. I'm going to get Brig some food real quick because otherwise he's going to apparently starve because I'm the worst dog owner ever. Though you've been fed 3 times today, Brig, but I know, you're just wanting more food. Oh, here you go, buddy. Are you hungry? Need some more grub? There you go. Oh, you're not hungry. Oh, I see. This tricks me. See, he does things like this. Like, he went over to where his dog food is, and if the kids forget to feed him, he'll like go over by him like, no one gave me any food. And so he gave me that look today. And usually if he hasn't been fed, he goes right away. And this time he's like, da 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 da. NVM fam, Chicago, New York. I'd go New York. Let's see. Joe, it depends. Usually we have a rough idea for probably about half to 2/3 of our trips a year in advance. We know what we're kind of going to do. And the rest is kind of like if something comes up, we do that. Yeah, Lori Sims. 2 boys. They're always hungry and will eat you out of every week. No food left. Yeah. So Caleb has hit the eats all the time phase. Thank goodness. So like it was midnight and he's cooking a steak. I'm like, cook the cheap steaks, man. I'm getting the good steaks. But he's a good chef. He's actually been getting a lot of spices and making his own rubs and stuff like that. He made chicken wings on his own with Jocelyn yesterday. I mean, on his own with Jocelyn, but like on his own with his own stuff. It's actually really good. So he's got some good skills in the kitchen. So Yeah, check. How do I afford to travel everywhere? We've prioritized travel. So, like, I don't have cable. All my cars are used, and I get them my favorite color, cheap. So we do that. And we don't go out to eat a lot. I'm like, look, I can go to the Italian restaurant and pay $100 for the four of us, or I can save the $100 and put it towards going to Italy. And so we kind of do those things. We actually have a video. We have a couple videos on how to save while you travel. And then we have a few videos on how to save money to travel. So if you look that up and put like how to save money for travel, Wolters World, it'll pop up on YouTube to help you out. Choki, is Berlin a big, buzzing, young city compared to the rest of German cities? Yes, it is. It's definitely a very younger city. Berlin has a very different vibe than the rest of Germany. I mean, it's like New York is, if you say, oh, you're going to the U.S., you go to New York. You're like, yeah, New York is the U.S., but it's different. Berlin's going to Germany, but it's different. I lived there for 2.5 years. I loved it. I go back all the time. So, well worth going there. Whoa, big, huge jump. Sorry, people. If anybody did anything in like the last 90 questions, it just totally disappeared. So I'm gonna have to go down. Jacek, Cleveland or Cincinnati? Probably Cincinnati. Pittsburgh or Philadelphia? Both are nice, but I probably go Philadelphia because of the history. Let's see. So, Sarfraz, travel-wise, do you prefer cities or natural attractions like national parks? I like them both. I actually like to do a mix of both because you get bored of doing the same thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, national parks are gorgeous, but after like 3 national parks, you're like, okay, can I get a city? But after 3 cities, you're like, oh, look, another museum and church. So I like to mix it up when I do that. Yeah, check. We got them all out there. Let's see. Jaycation, did you see the Circa Casino grand opening last night in Vegas? So many YouTubers were live streaming it. I know. Our buddies, Turn It Up World, were there. They were filming that. There's other people there too. It was too late for me. I'm an old man, so I was asleep on my time zone. So, yes, Lori Sam puts it best. It's called budget living and making travel a priority. That's 100% it. Rainbow Harmony. I'm a digital nomad and finally found out I can go to Montenegro after a year of having to stay in Croatia because of COVID. Any recommendation for what to go see in Montenegro? Kotor is the only place I've been, but there's some other places you can go. But Kotor is really nice and it's easy to get to from Croatia, so you'll be good there. But no, I mean, look up Gabriel Traveler. He's been there recently, so he probably has some tips for you. So look him up, Gabriel Traveler on YouTube. Let's see. Matt Jones. Mark, do you plan on retiring to a different country or stay in the U.S.? So Jocelyn wants us to, like, I don't know where this money's coming from, but have, like, little apartments in, like, one on every continent, and we just kind of rotate around. That's her goal. So, like, one is in Paris, one is in Nicaragua, and one in Isleta in Nicaragua, one's in the U.S., wherever the kids are, wherever they are. So, we'll see. Still got a few years for that, so... So, Sultan, is travel a job or a passion? It's a passion. I love it. I love traveling. Sam, yes, we will do Antarctica. We're going to be... Liam needs to be a lot older to go because some places have age restrictions on how old you have to be to go. So I have to look at that. Let's see. Old one, marzipan is my favorite thing. You know, I try to like marzipan, but I just can't get into it. I know if you go to like Lubeck, that's like marzipan central, and I've tried. I took my students to like marzipan stores and stuff, and I'm just like, can't get into it. They all bought it for like gifts for their parents. I'm like, it's a good gift. I don't like it, but it's a good gift. So, Jack, I prefer York over Lancaster. York's my favorite town in England. Let's see. Yeah, Cook, not Buckley. Good call. Your Lee's on fire with all the like stuff tonight. Nice. Yeah, Jim, send me an email with the information on Cincinnati because it's not too far from us. I mean, not too far. It's like 3 hours, 4 hours. In the U.S., it's not far. I always find surprising shock. Cincinnati Airport isn't in Ohio. It's in Kentucky. So let's see. You're welcome, Rainbow Harmony. Choki, is Vienna more boring than Budapest? I don't think either of them are boring. I would think Vienna's a little more staid than Budapest. Budapest is a little more loosey goosey, let's say. Let's see. Nantucket or Martha's Vineyard. 6 one way, half dozen the other, to be honest. Hey, Wizard of Wishaw, good to see you again from Scotland. Shouldn't you be in bed or something? It's late over there. You're young and spry. You'll be fine. Travis, have you ever mentioned your worst travel experiences? Let's see. There's a time Liam got his hand smashed in China. That was really bad. There's a time I put my collarbone almost through my skin. That was pretty bad. There was a time I thought I was going to jail in Russia, but I was so drunk it didn't matter that much. But that was kind of scary. There's been some other stuff. Jacek, best lobster rolls. They're in Maine. Best Portuguese food, porco preto or assorda. I like both those. Polish food, the donuts. Captain's Table, MDR. Being a world traveler, is there anything exciting to see or do in Quincy, Illinois? Actually, Quincy, Illinois has an incredible array of historic homes that are gorgeous. I was in San Antonio, and they're like, oh, you need to go see the street with all these old houses. And I went there. I'm like, shit, there's better stuff in Quincy. And Quincy has amazing architecture. They've done a great job of preservation there. There's actually, the biggest one is actually the Quincy Museum. It's now a museum there that's nice. Some decent local restaurants to still go eat at. So, yeah, there's some stuff to do there. I'll do a video on Quincy one of these days. Captain's Table. Do we know each other by chance? So, Choki, does your older son want to become a professional soccer player, footballer? He did, and then his knee gave out on him. So he's like, he knows that his time is limited. So he said he's gone from being on a travel team stuff to now it's like, I'll just play for high school and call it a day. So I'm like, okay. Which is sad because he's got some really good skills. Okay, so Safraz has a good question. For Europe, with aged parents, is it better to travel with travel companies or on your own? Well, here's the thing. If you go with a travel company, like on a tour, they're kind of like, let's go, let's go, let's go. So that might not be great for your parents because they might be like, I'm too tired to do something today, and they don't want to go out. So it might be better for you to do it because you can do the trains, you can rent a car, you can do it on your own. So I would probably do it on your own, but I would talk to your parents about places they really want to go, and don't make it anything too far. Like pick 2 or 3 destinations that are relatively close to each other so you can kind of get a lot of stuff in one place. Jacek, come on, everyone knows Amsterdam over Brussels every time. Every time. Sultan's asking, where you recommend a EU citizen to travel in Europe, for example? My favorite cities like Paris and Rome and Prague are my favorite cities to go to, like big cities in Europe. So that would be where I'd probably recommend. At friendliest locals you've ever met. Rwanda. Straight up. So friendly. So friendly. Jacek, both Australia and New Zealand, they tie. Jack, Mark, have you ever been to a football match in England? Not in England. I've been to a number of soccer matches, football matches in Portugal, Italy, and Germany. But I've never been to one in England. So there's that. Landon, St. Paul is less than urban field than Minneapolis. I agree. My brother worked up there for a while, so we'd go up there. So that's nice. Oh, Matt Jones. Mark, do you prefer Kansas City over St. Louis? My dad's side of the family is from St. Louis. My mom's KSC, so I spend time in both. Honestly, as a traveler, I would probably say Kansas City over St. Louis. Though I'm a St. Louis Cardinal fan, not a Royals fan. And I'm still bitter about 1985. If Vince Coleman wouldn't have got his leg caught in that thing, we totally would have beat you. Anyway. The Amazing Gamer Robloxian. Have you ever visited Ohio? Why, yes. My entire childhood, all our vacations were in Toledo, Ohio to see my grandpa. And then we would go from there to Sandusky, Ohio to go to Cedar Point. So, yes. So, there are some things there. Dude, Jacek, slow down with the questions, dude. Yeah, Benfica. I've been to many Benfica games. SLB, glorioso, SLB. Dale Edwards, how old are you? Dirt. I'm as old as dirt. That's all that matters. Let's see. Old woman, do you understand the game of cricket? Ever watch one? Actually, so I have not done the soccer, but I have been to cricket. And pre-Jocelyn life. I mean, I barely remember it. I remember I was born and then it was Jocelyn. But in there somewhere, there was an English girl I dated and her family loved cricket. And so we'd watch cricket all the time. And so I got to learn from them. So I was at her sister's wedding and the other sister's boyfriend was a huge cricket fan. There was some like big cricket thing going on. So we had like 6 days of matches and we just watched and watched. So I just know I got really drunk and learned all about cricket. And actually some of my neighbors in my street over, they're from India and they've got like Nerf cricket. And so they'll be outside playing with their kids and stuff. So we'll always have a chat about it. I'm like, that was 6. There's one, the dad hit it. And the kid's like, no, that's only 5. I'm like, no, that was 6. That was totally 6. Dad's like, thanks. But he's like, and you knew? I'm like, yeah, I knew. Cho, yes, there's Amish people actually south. Actually, the house I'm in right now, a lot of the carpentry was done by Amish. So, small world. It's okay, Yachek. It's okay. You're just asking questions. Nothing wrong with it. Just, because it goes through. I don't see them all, so you think I'm rude, but I just can't get them all. Yes, Thomas Reiser. St. Louis Cardinals is a good taste. Hope you're doing well, my friend. We still do not have any news on Liam's passport, by the way, my brother. Nicholas, I have not been to Banff, sadly. So, Timothy Kirschman, have you done a video on the do's and don'ts of going through customs? I do have a video. I filmed it in Ireland. If you put like Wolters World Customs or going through customs Wolters World, it should pop up and have like a customs logo and stuff like that. So, check that out. That can help you out. It's kind of like going through customs and what it's like going abroad, like going into another country. So it talks about the step-by-step thing. So there's something there. Oh, dang it. There was one that just jumped around. Amala, you should visit Saudi Arabia. I'm sure we'll get there one day. Okay, Alex Smith says, hi, do you have any advice for someone who's afraid of flying over the ocean for a long period of time? Is it disorienting? It is not disorienting, but it's okay. I don't like flying. Jocelyn's scared to death of flying, but we still do it. Just know that everyone that's on that plane, the pilots, the co-pilots, the flight attendants, they wouldn't get off if it wasn't safe. So just know that. And statistically, it's safer, the safest way to travel. So you're more likely to get in an accident going to the grocery store than on a plane. So that kind of helps. Also, if I may recommend Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels. My personal favorite is Jack and ginger together and then stir it with a Biscoff cookie, the Delta cookies. That takes the edge off a lot of times for me. So something for you there. Yeah, Amit knows all about the Amish. Yeah, in Pennsylvania. Yeah, big group. So have you ever been to a World War II museum? If so, where? Yeah, Cho, I've been to, well, there's one, I've been to the one in New Orleans. That's the U.S. one. But we were in, if you watch our videos on Normandy, we've got like 4 or 5. We went to a bunch in Normandy for World War II museums. Quite moving, quite an experience to say the least. Let's see. 666 Matthew, this is a good question. Other than New York City, San Francisco, and Chicago, which other U.S. cities would worth visiting without a car, either walking or public transportation? Big cities? New Orleans, you don't need a car. Big cities. Seattle, we didn't have a car. We did fine there. Boston, you can do the green line. You can do the green line there. Yeah, otherwise, I mean, Uber's everywhere, so you can do that. But like the big cities, that's it. Like smaller cities are worth visiting. You got like Savannah, Georgia's great. Charleston's great. You don't need a car for those two to see the main stuff there. Natchez, Natchez you can walk around, but it's so you gotta drive a bit. There's not a lot of really good. There's not really a lot of good public transport in the U.S. Sadly. Ebenezer, got any tips for a red-eye flight from Chicago to London? Actually, that's a good... Well, they're all kind of red-eye-ish because you're getting in first thing in the morning. One thing I would say is dress comfy for the flight. I would probably eat... It depends where your seat is. But if you don't mind sitting on the window, what you can do is, like, if you see the flight attendant, be like, hey, look, if I'm sleeping, I don't want any food. And you get yourself comfy and go. Jocelyn has a few things she does. She has like a square she'll put down that actually she can put her feet up and sleep. I never sleep on flights. Even like to Japan and Australia, I didn't sleep. I'll be awake all the time. But yeah, the red-eye flight from Chicago to London. I think some people will take melatonin to help them sleep. Some people have a drink to help them sleep. Don't turn on the screen because that blue light from the screen or your phone will keep you awake. So you can keep those down. And actually, if you use the eye things, and the ear things, that'll actually make a difference to help you sleep. You might not sleep, but at least you'll be able to relax a little bit more. So I hope that helps. Jack Presley, Mark, how do you fall asleep on a plane? Yeah, like I said, I never fall asleep. I usually start to fall asleep after takeoff, and I've never slept through a whole flight. Neither have I. I never sleep. Like, Liam will fall asleep before we take off and wake up when we land sometimes. I'm like, you little... he's got a gift. Joss will sleep too. Caleb will sleep, but yeah, I'm worthless. Worthless at that. Ooh, old woman. We plan to take the Queen Mary 2 to move to England in order to move our dog. Very nice, very nice. Your dog will appreciate that much more than the flight, that's for sure. Nick Barnett's camp, sleep on flights too. Good. Just trying to help. Yes, I have been. Have you been to Minsk? Yes, I have. I was in Minsk in, I think, 2004. It was quite the experience. I went with a friend of mine, and these two girls just happened to bump into us and volunteered to show us around for the 4 or 5 days we were there. They just wanted to practice their English, but it was funny that they were there when we'd wake up and we'd walk out. They were like waiting outside the hotel for us. They were not prostitutes or anything like that, but they were very much like how wonderful Lukashenko is. So I think they were kind of a plant from the government, but they were nice. One was nice. One was like really Lukashenko is God. It was really weird in that respect. Zachary, did you like your trip to Kansas City before? I've lived in Kansas for the past 10 years. Yeah, I like Kansas City. Kansas City is great. That's a really surprising city in the U.S. I really, really love. The airport sucks, and you have to go find a telephone to call a taxi, which you don't realize you have to do. And there's nothing in the airport, but they're like, we're building a new one. I'm like, yeah, it ain't going to be ready for a few years. So I remember when I put out I have one more Kansas City video to put out, but they're like, we're building a new airport. I'm like, yeah, when it's done in like 4 years, I'll come back and make another video. But until that happens, your airport still sucks. So there's that. Yes, Bruno Schenkman, do you have a video on solo travel? Yes, I have look up 5 love and hates of solo travel, Wolters World, and we have a 5 love and hates to go through the good and the bad of the solo travel. Let's see. Anthony, I can't believe I forgot to hug the Pope when I was in Rome. That's funny. See, that looked like Dom DeLuise. I actually loved him when I was a kid. He was one of my favorite comedian kind of things. Yes, Foxy, I can't wait until the COVID restrictions are lifted as well. I hear you. Matt Jones, Mark, any tips on how to woo a Greek woman? Be devilishly handsome. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't know how I did it. So I'm not someone to ask, though. Be a nice person. I guess that helps. I'm not sure. Let's see. Jack's going to a nearby hotel for Halloween. That's cool. Let's see. Ooh, Sammer, what is your favorite food to get when you're in Morocco when you went? So they have these things called tagines, and when you order a tagine's it's the pot they cook in. It's not a pot; it's like a bottom and a top, and they cook everything in there. But rabbit was incredible there. God, there was so many good food. The bread was so good. Like Morocco's just got amazing food. Actually, this is what surprised me. The wine in Morocco is actually really good. And the tea is really good. Anytime you get a chance to have the tea when you're there. Really, really nice. Christian Martin, have you traveled to New York? Yep. Not sure we have much to offer other than the Times Square. No, New York's got the museums in New York are awesome. The food scene in New York is incredible. The bar scene, it's just pricey. I mean, if New York wasn't so pricey, I mean, everyone would love it. It's just a really great city. Ooh, Film Discount. Okay, Mark, real talk now. Best barbecue in the U.S. Region, Southeast. Restaurant, Wiley's Barbecue, Savannah, Georgia. It's actually I think it's on Whitmarsh Island. That's my favorite place. Whenever you see me talking about barbecue, a lot of times the pictures are from there. The videos are from there. I love Wiley's. Let's see. Jack Presley, what's the most haunted place you've been? Buddy's house, south of here. I thought I saw a ghost. He's like, oh, yeah, the old lady? Yeah, she talks to her son sometimes. It's really weird. I'm like, I saw an old lady in the thing, but I think they were messing with me. But no, I'm not really I know I'm in travel, but not all travel people are about ghost hunting, even though the Travel Channel makes you think that traveling means ghost hunting. So there is that. Let's see. So Zachary, so I think I have the don'ts of Kansas City and the eats of Kansas City. So I still have the shocks of Kansas City to put out, which I was actually going to put out for the Super Bowl. But the first shock is that Kansas City is actually Missouri, and there was a little thing, political thing, and I'm like, I didn't want to get involved with that, so I kind of pushed it back. And that's one of the things is, I will. There's been times I've had videos I was going to put out, but then something, a terrorist attack might happen, or a horrible accident, or a tsunami in one, and a hurricane in another one, and other political things will happen. And I just push the videos. I'm like, look, we'll come back to you in 6 months, and so that's in a 6-month one. So the Kansas City one is actually one I have hopefully coming out in November. So there is that. Ooh, shrimp and grits. That's always good. Can't beat a shrimp and grits. That's good. Just trying to help. Any hotel recommendations in Las Vegas? I do not have any, but I would say go check out Turn It Up World. Turn It Up World. Tanya and Dave, friends of mine, they run a YouTube channel that actually they do all kinds of stuff from there, and they have a lot of reviews because they go so much. They get free like president's rooms, so they can give you all kinds of advice on places in Vegas. So Nolan was saying, hey, I want to travel Eastern Europe one day. Do you recommend Armenia? I'd love to check out the history. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Armenia would be good. Just make sure it's at a time when it's actually safe to go there. That's just one thing I'd look out for. All right, Thomas. See you later, buddy. Yes, Bruno, Moroccan mint tea is awesome. Oh, man, it was so good. Yeah, Nick Barnett's Travel Channel changed its name. Actually, it did. The Turvel Channel, they took out the A and the E because it's not travel anymore. It's Turvel. And it's the TRVL. I'm going to guess eventually they'll probably change the name again. Looking at the branding side of it, that's the first step to switch it to something else. Because remember, wasn't CMT something else before? And ABC Family turns to Freeform so they could do something else. So it's not unheard of. Yeah, Foxy, tsunamis are ghastly. It's scary as hell. Jack Preston, the town in England I'm living in is nicknamed the Porsche capital of England because everyone has a Porsche. Not where I live, so there is that. Okay, so Jan asks, what's one thing you do in every new city you visit? I will take cabs specifically to talk to the cab drivers. I will take it in from the airport just to be able to like, hey, what do I need to know about the city? And I'll ask the taxi drivers. And I ask taxi drivers over Uber drivers because Uber drivers I've found when I go around the world, those are a lot of people that are just transplants, so they don't know anything. So the taxi drivers usually know the city better. And so I'll ask them for information and they'll usually more than happy to share. So there's that. John O'Brien, I don't have anything on South Africa. I've got a buddy of mine that's living there now. He's going for his citizenship there. So once he gets that and he can start traveling around again, we're going to go down and see him. Mark, what do you think about the Egyptian artifacts being found in the Grand Canyon? Do you believe that ancient civilizations were actually more travel and connected than previously thought? Dun, dun, dun. When I'm on the Travel Channel, I'll do a video about that, but not right now. YouTube's the actual Travel Channel now. Anyway, yeah. Nick Barnett's actually makes a good point. And Epic Orion FT9 from Ireland. Good to see you. But the CEO of the Travel Channel actually said, or the president of the Travel Channel actually said, if you could find it on YouTube, we will not do it. So all those videos that we do, since that's something that's on YouTube, they won't do it. So don't expect Travel Channel to ever be a travel channel again. It's going to be, well, for at least the next 5 or 6 years. So there is that. Yeah, old women in new countries like to go to the local grocery store. Yeah, we do that with Jocelyn all the time because you really learn a lot about the culture. It is really, and it's a really cool experience too because you really start to understand what people eat, why they eat, stuff like that. Night Matt Healer of Windhurst. Amit, great piece of info, Mark. Taxi drivers over Uber, especially in New York City, will keep that in mind for sure. Yeah, and if you're in New York, Uber, do not take Uber anywhere near rush hour because the surge pricing will kill you. Just take the cab instead. Yeah, no, be safe. No Eberts in Mississippi currently. There's a hurricane right now. Yeah, we were supposed to go to Natchez actually next week, but we are postponing that because the hurricane. We'll make sure everybody's okay. San Antonio bail bonds. Are you going to travel in Texas? The Hill Country has a lot of wineries. Yeah, we're looking to go to Texas hopefully later this month. Just seeing how everything works out. Oh, Nick Barnes. So, where's Jocelyn? She is actually sick. She is not feeling well, so she's up in bed. 666 Matthew, aren't you worried that a taxi driver takes advantage of you? So, what I do is, when I have a taxi, I always make it obvious that I've turned on Google Maps with my destination, and I have it kind of like here on the side when I'm talking to them. So it's kind of sitting there, so I can see if they're going on the path or not, and that actually helps out quite a bit. Yes, Fox, there's some 115-year-olds out there in the world. Let's see. So what's I'm a Manhattan guy. I like Manhattan. I'd like to stay in Manhattan. I know it's expensive, but I just have I just like it there. Yeah, Lee Bridges, I'm a California native and we don't even blink at any earthquake under a 5.5. Yeah. Oh, so I've had earthquakes. It was a 5.2 that was outside of El Salvador. So El Salvador, there was an earthquake. Portugal, there was a couple of earthquakes when I was there. But the one that scared the most people was when I was in Lithuania. There was one like in the Baltic Sea, and people were freaking out, like running out of buildings. I'm like, what's wrong? And there was like a mini, like a two earthquake, like on the Richter scale. So, Dennis, I've got my gentleman Jack because I'm a gentleman some days, at least on Wednesdays. Oh, Miggy Mo, ever had the mug foam beer in Prague out of the tent? Yes, I have. It is so good. Yeah, Lee Bridges, you're right. Fires are a much bigger problem in California than quakes. I agree. I'm glad at least the weather's cooled down and there was like a lot of rain and snow coming, so hopefully that can help them out because it is tough. Let's see. So Noel Ebert, can y'all do a Northwest Arkansas video one day? Fayetteville area, thinking of potentially moving there. So actually, we're looking to go to Western Grove because we have a friend that lives there, and Hot Springs on a future trips. I don't know if we'll get to Fayetteville though, but we'll definitely have a don'ts of Arkansas to help you out. Bruno Shagman, Samantha Brown left the Travel Channel because it was no longer about travel. That's part of the reason why. Yep. And that's one of the things is sometimes you're like, you're working with, and that's one of the things you have to look at is with companies you work with and organizations you work with, you might have a thing that you're shooting for. Like Samantha Brown's about positive travel stuff. She actually has a new show. It's like third season on PBS. And when it's on PBS, her and her husband, Tim, I think is his name, they actually do a Facebook Live like afterwards to discuss the episode that was just on. And actually today is her 14-year wedding anniversary. So if you go on her Facebook page, say happy anniversary, Wolters World says hi. She has no idea who I am. It's funny because I'll comment on her stuff and she has no idea. But it's cool. I'm okay. But yeah, so she's got good stuff. Ahmed, Mark, you seem like a beer pong god. Did you play a lot during your college days? So when I was in college, we didn't play beer pong where you throw it in the thing. We would actually play ping pong with beers on the thing. So we'd play it that way. And so if you would play and you'd hit it, you'd have to take a drink. If you hit it into the cup, you had to chug the whole cup. So yes, I played that a lot back in the day. My parents had a cement floor basement and a ping pong table. So yes. Landon, Yellowstone or Grand Teton? I actually like Grand Teton better. Heidi, what is your favorite city area of Texas? I love San Antonio. That's my favorite one. Lee Bridges passing my homemade vegetable soup to Jocelyn. Thanks, Lee. Appreciate it. Gui Tejada. Good to see you, buddy. Where would you consider to be worth visiting Hidden Gem before it gets discovered? Slovenia. I think that's going to be the next thing, one of the next ones in Europe. I don't think there's going to be a new hidden thing that gets undiscovered for the next year or two, because I think when people can start traveling again, they're going to hit the old standbys first and then start exploring again. Matt Jones, no, I am not drunk yet. I'm trying. As my ice machine just cracks. Like more ice out. Like, hey, don't forget about me. Hey, Deborah, good to see you. Let's see. Dale Edwards, Mark, do people recognize you when you are on your travels? Yeah, occasionally people will come up and say hi. It's funny. I actually was talking on Travel with Bruce. I did a live with him. So I did a live for an hour and 15 minutes before we did, or an hour or so before I did this live. And Bruce was asking that same question. And when we were in Brecon in Wales, I was in a supermarket. And it was like every aisle, somebody recognized me. It was hilarious. And this is like this little tiny town. Never has that ever happened before. But when we travel around Europe, we get it a lot, especially when in Italy and Germany, because we have a lot of videos there. In the U.S., we don't get so many. In the U.S., what we'll get is we'll film and we'll go places, and then we'll do like a live feed like today. And then like Noel Ebert will say, oh, yeah, I saw you at Grand Tetons with your family. I didn't come up and say hi. I'm like, dude, just come up and say hi. It's totally fine. I love it. Because for me, when people, when fellow travelers that watch our videos are traveling, like, hey, you helped our videos, it makes you so happy to know we're helping. So if you ever see us, do say hi. So thanks. No, this is not a Knob Creek bottle. This is a Gentleman Jack bottle. Ugh, old woman. I see you there. Oh, Hunter Hans, most affordable country you travel to in terms of accommodation, food, and attractions. Nicaragua. Argentina when the economy was trashed, which doesn't really count. Lithuania. Portugal used to be really great, but now it's not anymore for prices. Matthew, who takes care of your dog when you're traveling? We usually have a house sitter that stays with them. It's not Jack on the Rocks. I have half a can of ginger ale left and my glass of whiskey. I've only filled up a few times. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. I actually saw Bourdain live once. What a guy. Him and Mr. Williams will dearly be missed. Yeah, Bourdain did a great job of getting people out of their comfort zone. What I really liked about his videos, it wasn't the food so much. It was when he would sit down and eat, but talk to the people about the culture and the area. That's what I loved. Like, that's one thing I want our videos to try to do, is like to get people to see the culture and want to explore it. And I mean, we have nowhere near the impact that guy did. But if we can have a little tiny impact, that's why I'm always happy we meet people that like we help them travel. It's a wonderful thing. Let's see. Foxy 313. If we're us drinking that much alcohol in 2 hours in a pub, Mark, I would probably have to be dragged out of the pub where you drink and happy would we succeed in the drinking competition. Yeah, no, I'd keep going. I'd make sure you got home safely and then I'd head back out to the pub. But yeah, make sure you're okay. I tilt you on the side so if you come out, I look out for you. Don't worry. As Zachary G, car, plane. I like plane. I hate sitting in the car forever. I don't like flying either. But right now, I think we're just going to do road trips for the next 6 months. Lana, we're in the U.S. Garbangulo, we live in the U.S. Let's see. Michael Friedman, your videos inspire me. Thank you. That is the best compliment I can ask. If we can inspire people and help people travel better, it's awesome. HW, when do you think we'll be able to travel without masks again? Probably 2022, 2023. 2021, I expect masks will be standard. Still, that's why I put out a video today on road trips in 2021, and masks are going to be part of it. Even if there's a vaccine and treatment, masks are still going to be part of it because you can't manufacture 7 billion things of a vaccine. So at least in that short of time. So Matthew, have you ever been threatened by gun or knife point while traveling? So I was threatened at knife point at a club in London. It was a brand new club, and my buddy and I, we had table service, all kinds of stuff, fancy club, downtown London, like not downtown London, but like, in London. And I was dancing with this young lady, rather attractive young lady. And a guy obviously wanted to dance with her more than I did because he says, you stop dancing with her because I'm going to dance with her. And he pulled out a knife. And I was like, okay, man, it's all you. I walked away. The girl's like, what? I'm like, I didn't even look back. I just walked away. So she walked away eventually too. So she was okay. But yeah, it was, yeah. Let's see. So, film to Scotland, Mark, have you had a francesinha when in Porto? Europe's best sandwich. So, for those who know, a francesinha is a Porto specialty. It's like bread, ham, and meat, and the thing is like bread and there's cheese on top, but it's the sauce that goes on top. Super salty, super fantastic. I've had it many times. Actually, I had a lot of friends from Porto back in the day, and when they would drive back to Germany when they were studying there, they'd bring like a big, huge like gallon thing of the sauce. It's not really sauce. It's more of like a liquid they pour on top to have it. Yes, I've had francesinha many times. Dale Edwards, thanks a million for all your videos. I too have kids, and it is great to know that there are others who have to suffer or face challenges to travel with children. I hear you, Dale. I hear you. This is to Dale. And this is to all you parents out there that suck it up and take your kids around the world or take them down the street or take them to a museum or take them across the state because we're helping them to grow up to be better people and better cultural ambassadors. And yeah, it sucks because kids, you know what? What 14-year-old wants to go travel? They want to hang out with their buddies and YouTube and Xbox it or whatever. So it's tough, but it's worth it. Might need to get some ice. Let's see. Yeah, I can't replicate the sauce for my life either. I've tried, and I failed and failed again. So I hear you. Ooh, Lee, I have to finish editing the screenplay by Friday. Should I delete Act 3 or just gently suggest it needs a few tweaks? Ooh, I would go with a few tweaks. Because, you know, it's like when we write papers for like professors, you always send it knowing full well they're going to like throw it back in your face. So you don't really have to do it like perfect. Like they'll throw it back to you with some suggestions. Like, oh, good suggestions. And then you make their changes. And then the producer's like, oh, they really listened. I like this now. It's like anybody. You let them have a say and then they're more bought in. Sam, we have not been to Egypt, but we will be getting there. That's on one of the top 3 places I want to get to. So, Gurbanoglu, sorry, I messed up your name. When do you plan on visiting Turkey or Iran? Iran, I can't go to. But Turkey, we were supposed to go to this summer, but can't go there now. Zachary, if I were 14, I would want to travel. So, yeah, I will say this. My oldest, he understands the specialness of all the travel we do, and he actually does miss the travel. But he does miss his friends. But right now it's really weird because he's been stuck at home with us for 7 months. So he's cool with traveling now. He really enjoyed a trip out west. He's been all about going to Texas and California and stuff. So you know what? We're going to do what we can to do some stuff together as a family because, you know, with all this, I mean, you got to look on the bright side of all this COVID stuff and all the quarantines. Because, like, for me, I mean, our family's always traveling together. We're always together. But now we're all kind of forced to be together. So we have to deal with each other and have this time together because eventually you don't have the time together. Whether your mom or dad pass away or you lose somebody or, you know, like, you don't talk to your brother or your sister anymore or your parents or whatever. This is the time we actually were together and we can, like, have a connection. We can do stuff. And sometimes it is just, you know, we played headbands today, you know, and it's just sometimes Liam beat me in chess today because I totally left the king unguarded and he just came in and I was like, God. But, you know, it's one of those things like, we get time together. Like Joss and I have been walking together, like usually just me walking the dog in the early morning tired. But for the last, you know, 3 months, her and I get to go for a walk and just spend some time together in the morning to talk and have that adult conversation that we never get to have because the kids are always there. So there's that. The Beach Life. Hello. New to your channel. Very glad to be here. Thanks, Beach Life. I really appreciate that. So 666 Matthew. I'm not a kids person, but your kids are adorable. Are they always well behaved? So they were okay, so in public, they're very well behaved. Private, well, like anyone, we're all different. But they're. I mean, I'll say this: both my kids are good kids. I'm very happy with them. The frustrations we get with our kids are the frustration you have with a 9-year-old and a 14-year-old. So it's nothing unsurprising. But I will say I can tell that they've been cooped up for 7 months because when we did our road trip out west, the first week and a half, they were like, I'm like, have you guys never been outside the house before? Like, what happened to your manners? Like, look at the waitress, ask her nicely, say please, thank you. And like, yeah, it took them a couple weeks to get like back into humanity. And that's one thing I think for teachers, it's tough with the kids coming back to school because 6-7 months without the regiment they're wild. I'm like, and principals and schools, they need to be more forgiving because these kids have gone through a lot, and we're adults and we're going through. I mean, I know I've had tough days, and we've all had tough days, but kids, their whole lives, they don't know, and we just need to be we give the kids a little bit more grace these days because it's tough on them. So Gerba, sorry. Hello, Mark. You say that Americans often speak loudly when traveling to Europe. Does that also make American tourists stick out in Southern Europe, where locals may also tend to be loud? We don't stick out as much. In the south of Europe, we stick out more because of the clothes, not the talking. So there's that. Yeah, Bruno, being locked down is mentally difficult. I'm not going to lie to you. It's tough. So Jack Presley said, I just stayed in my room for the lockdown because I didn't want to do anything else or with anyone except for eating and drinks. Yeah, and there's a lot of people that were like that. I mean, and I've gone through waves personally. Like in March, I mean, because I teach for my day job, so I had to teach in March and April. So March and April was like I had to get all my classes ready for online. I had to get all this stuff and teach these things. And then we were doing lives every Wednesday and Saturday. And that was for our sanity to like talk to other adults like on here. It was really a wonderful thing. And then the summer came, we could actually go outside and do more stuff. And now that it's like, it's going to be cold again and a lot more lockdowns again. I'm looking at it like today I went to the store and went to the store. I'm like, Jocelyn, and still to this day, I usually do all the grocery shopping, so they don't have to go out. I'm like, what do you need? Like, what can we do to make? So today Liam was like, I want to make my own candy bars. So I bought some different chocolates. And we melted the chocolate down and we had these little molds and he made his own little like chocolate bars, And yesterday Caleb wanted to make chicken wings. So we did that. So we're finding things to like at least give the kids something to do and something for us to do as a family and something to take our minds off it. Cause like, honestly, there's a TV right there that we never watch. Like I've never watched less TV because we did a video of the don'ts of quarantine. And the first one was don't watch news all the time because it'll drive you crazy. So there's that. Kathleen Examus. Hi, Kathy Examus, Mamma Mia. That's my mother-in-law, by the way. Jocelyn is sick. That's why she's not here. So you can text her if you need to talk to her. Cho, I have not been to Lake Balaton. That was actually a place I was going this summer when I was going to be teaching in Vienna, but that got canceled. So there is that. Tyler, I do not know the testing policy for Hawaii. We're looking to maybe go there in the spring. Mark, here's a philosophical question. Why do we bake cookies but cook bacon? Because bacon, well, you can bake bacon in the oven, which is actually pretty good, and actually you can cut a lot of the fat out. But I don't know, maybe it's sounds too weird together. I don't know. Sorry, I can't. I was trying to think of a good joke, but I couldn't. Sorry. Colin, what's the path like to becoming a professor? Lots of work, little pay, no love. Students hate you, and you try to get things published where no one cares about you. Aside from that, it is do your undergraduate, do your master's, do your PhD, and then hopefully get a job. Publish a lot of papers and to get your job. That's kind of how it is. But I'm a teaching professor, so I focus more on teaching, not research, which I love. And so I just love teaching, so I do that. Oldham, how am I ever going to fit in when I move to Portugal? There's so many people that move to Portugal, you'll be fine. The Portuguese are super nice people, super welcoming. You'll be totally fine. I mean, we love living there. I would move back there, no problem. Let's see. Just jumped. There was one. That wasn't Jan. Where'd it go? There's one I was reading. Oh, Jan Gagule. I'm sorry, man. I suck at these last names today. Bonjour, mon ami. Well, we have a lot of history together. I could say you are one of the persons who helped me to get back on the road. Thanks, man. I'm glad I could help, Jan. I'm glad I could help. Auntie Christy, hi. First time joining a live chat with you all. Well, I'm glad you could be here. Sorry Jocelyn's not here. She's not feeling well today. So she's not there. Hey, Rally. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Lori Sims, all I can say is appreciate your family and loved ones while you have them. Share their hardships and their dreams and the small things that matter to them because they might not be there. And it's true, and sadly, it's very true. So just enjoy. Give your fam. Every time I leave the house, give Jocelyn a kiss. Tell the boys bye, I love them. And like they're like, yeah, we got it, Dad. I'm like, yeah, but I still said it. And like Jocelyn, and now it's a joke. If we leave, we haven't given a kiss. We look at each other like, what the hell? So you have to come back, and so it's funny. Like if you're in Lithuania, if you leave and you have to come back, you have to look in a mirror. But if I leave and I come back, even like, oh shit, I forgot my wallet or something. I come back in, got to give her another kiss. So there is that. So let's see. Oh, I got a big jump there. Sorry. Henry Yu, thank you very much for the super chat. What do you miss most about international traveling? I miss the damn people. I miss being out there and seeing people and hearing the languages and the sights and just the aura, I guess, of travel and being out there. I just miss it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love traveling the U.S., but there's that international mystery of going places. Even if it's Canada, it's still Canada. Oh, will they give me a loonie or a toonie? Will they speak French? Will it be Quebecois? What's going on? I don't know. Like, I miss that. I really, really miss that. So that's one thing. 666 Matthew, has your channel benefited from the lockdown? No, it hasn't. Actually, we are at, so last month we had 1.2 million views. Last September we had 3.5 million views. So we're about at a third of where we were before. I know other travel channels that you like travel with them, like Kara and Nate, they're doing great. They're back to their numbers. They're doing even better. It's great. And I'm happy for them. But like the live through us travel people, they're back to their old numbers. But people like me who are about travel prep and helping people to prepare for travel, man, we're hammered. Like, I mean, I'm at 33%, 40% of viewership. It's bad. But there's still people watching and there's still people these things. So I'm cool with that. But it is tough because it has been, and I know there's a lot of channels that have been hurt and they haven't come back. And like, I have a day job. So I have a day job I fall back on, but there's people that YouTube was their job and the money's gone. The views are gone. And honestly, like, I don't expect my views to be back to where they were like early 2019 or 2019 numbers, at least till 2023. So I'm playing around that. So yeah, our channel is been hammered. So there's that. Now, not everyone's has. My buddy Learn German with Herr Antrim. He does learning German. He's been doing great because all these people want to start learning a new language. So he's been doing really great. I'm so happy for him. He had 100,000 subscribers. I'm like, awesome, dude. So I'm happy for the people that have been able to succeed in this. But that's why I've actually put a lot of effort into my Professor Wolters channel lately. It's basically like learning marketing and business stuff. So if you're trying to do your own thing, you can have some easy help. So I have some things there. Sammy, je voudrais aller au parc avec mon ami. C'est très amusant. Yeah, it'd be very fun to go to the park together, my friend. Yeah, and hopefully one day, mon français ne est très mal. Yeah, my French is horrible. But I can understand some stuff, and I can be a decent tourist, and that's important. And if we have some cognac, and I spend a couple weeks in France, we'll be just fine. Informative. Would you ever consider a permanent move to another country? Yes. I've actually lived in other countries for quite a long periods of time and thought about moving. But I love the U.S., but I also love living in Lithuania. I love living in Germany. I love living in Italy. So there's a lot of places I consider. So there's no bad places out there. Josh Ellis, young guy hoping to backpack Europe someday. Where to start? So Josh, I actually have a 511 hates of backpacking Europe video to watch. Check that out. I also have a first time in Europe itinerary video that goes through some stuff to check out. I would go those, but like your first trip, I usually recommend hitting the big cities, like flying to London, then take the channel down to Paris, then fly over to Prague, then fly down to Rome and do that. You spend like 4 days in each city and do a day trip from each one. That gives you 4, 8, 16, 20 days. So like 3 weeks of stuff. That's a good start. You have a good time. But if you want to backpack though, there's some other places like Interlaken is really popular in Switzerland for like adventure travel. Barcelona is fun for the nightlife. Spain's really good for the nightlife. And believe me, the Spanish will way outlast you. No matter how cool you think you are, because I thought I was cool back in the day, they will still like the grandma. You'll go to bed with the grandmas at like 5 a.m. Everyone else is still going. So there's that. Bruno, do you avoid talking about politics when traveling? I avoid politics all the time. Especially on this channel because people get burned out of politics. So we actually have a no politics rule on our channel to avoid it. It's not that I don't ever talk politics like when I travel because people always bring it up. Like even if you say I don't want to talk politics, they'll still bring it up. And I'm respectful. Like, look, everyone has the right to have their own opinion about politics. You know, so you do your own thing. You do you. So let's see. So Lori Sims, Mark, I have been following for the last 4 years, encouraging me to get out and be confident solo traveler. Now I look at fellow subscribers, my online friends. And so do I, Lori. So do I. It's nice to have and that's the thing. In the world today, we've all kind of changed. Like we have our online friends that we've got to know and just like, hey, we got people we can see. Alex Goff, just booked Cleveland. Please recommend other than rock and roll. Yeah, last time I was in Cleveland, I was in the flats down the river, and they canceled the Green Day concert, because they thought it'd be a riot, and there was almost a riot because of cancellation. So I don't have much to tell you because I was pissed. Henry, where can we send you a bottle? You just drink it for me and send me a picture. Just tag me in a post. So Foxy316, sorry to get so personal, Mark, but I thought your channel earned money from the adverts on YouTube as well as the views and number of subscribers you have. So for those of you who don't know how YouTubers get paid, there's many ways. Actually, on Professor Wolters, I got lots of ways to talk about getting paid. But the ads, you only get paid for the ads. Like number of subscribers, number of views mean absolutely nothing. It just matters the number of ads that show up and that people watch. That's where you get paid by YouTube. That's it. Now you can do other things like we have merchandise. You can go to waltersworld.store and you can buy, Walters World t-shirts, beer koozies, face masks, stuff like that. You can make money that way too. So we make some money that way. A lot of people got the new UK shirt. Thank you very much. And the masks. That helps. But a lot of YouTubers, where they really make money, where you make the big money, like Mr. Beast will tell you, he's like, he gives away all the money because he's got sponsors. It's the sponsorships. We don't get sponsorships because we focus on honest travel advice, which means we tell the good and the bad. And a lot of brands don't want me saying anything bad about them. So, and I think for me, it works for the brand that we're honest travel, but I have a day job, so I don't have to say this is the greatest city ever when it's not because they gave me money. So there is that. Let's see. Oh, film to Scotland. Come on, Edinburgh. I was there last summer, and we went to Shetland, where my family's from. We saw the graves, saw our old houses and stuff. It was good times. We were in Edinburgh. My mom wants to go back. I'll be back. Don't you worry about it. Raging Fire. Our original plan was to go to India in 2022. I don't know when we're going to go now, but that was the original plan. Oh, got a best for that. Oh, Mark Finley was not impressed with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Museum. I've never been, so I don't know, because it's been a while. So Lori Sims, I hate watching YouTube and every 3 minutes another ad. That is what I like about Wolters World. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, if you have a video over 8 minutes long, YouTube defaults and they'll put one ad in the middle. But if you have more than one ad in the middle, sometimes it's the YouTuber that actually put it in. But if you watch a live feed on a replay, they put an ad in every 5 minutes. That's YouTube because YouTube wants to make more money, so they're putting more ads in. So that's really frustrating because it makes it really difficult to watch live feeds on a replay. So it's very frustrating. Or if you watch a longer thing, it is frustrating. Especially now you have all the political commercials that are out there. So for YouTubers right now, it's a good time because there's so many political ads that are trying to get shown and YouTube doesn't have enough videos to show those ads. So anything gets out there. That's why have you noticed you haven't been able to skip those political ads? Those are the more expensive ones. So though our videos are down to 1/3 of what we usually have, we're only making 50% of what we used to have. So, hey, there's a little bump, 20% more than we should. So there is that. But I know on November 4th, all that money will go away. So you'll be back to next to nothing. Let's see. No, Ebert, Chicago museum game is strong. Yes, it is. Chicago's got fantastic museums. Man, you can't go wrong having good times there. Going to Cleveland, going to a Browns game, they're not trash. Yeah, that's true. They're not trash today. Thanks, Foxy. I appreciate you helping me out. Um, let's see. Tristan, those political ads are the worst. I know. So because I watch because we don't have cable, so I watch YouTube all the time. Liam and I watch SciShow, SciShow Space, Eons. Caleb and I will watch some stuff too, and it's just like it's the same ads again and again because they're like, no, we're paying. You're gonna watch it twice, because sometimes like a usual ad will be like, look, I want this ad to be shown max of 2 times to this person in a 24-hour time. But the political guys like, no, every time, don't care. Here's the money, take it. That's why, I mean, companies that go by ad revenue love presidential election cycles because they know they're going to make a ton of cash from all the extra ads. So, Nick Barnett's did a musical themed one, Nashville, New Orleans, Memphis, and Cleveland. That is a great road trip and a great music trip. So that's cool. Oh, wow. I was disappointed the actual Hall of Fame exhibit was nothing but signatures, even from Ray Charles. Yeah, that sucks. I was hoping to see like the guitars and stuff and all that. Huh. Let's see. James M. Gregory, what's the best thing about living in Portugal? It's simple. Living in Portugal is a simple life. That is one thing we miss. It was just simple. Like, you go eat, you have a cafezinho, you have a imperial, be with your buddies, you go home, you do whatever. It's like so laid back, so just not stressful. Oh, I loved it there. Oh, Zachary G, I got YouTube Premium for 1 month, so I don't see the political ads. Smart move. That was a good month to do it. It is nice. Gerbo, I've taken pictures up close to the Queen's Guards, so I haven't had too many troubles with that. Aaron DeFaney, I saw you at the church in Strasbourg, but didn't want to interrupt you and your family. Aaron, if you see me at the church in Strasbourg again, you come say hi, okay? Yeah, we're always cool with people coming to say hi. I love when people come to say hi. It's like, I helped you travel. I'm so glad I could help somebody. It makes it worthwhile doing these things by having this interaction here. But also, when we see people when we travel that we can help out, it means the world to me. So next time, Aaron, fist bump or elbow bump, whatever you can do then. Hug, beer, drink, some whiskey, whatever. We'll figure it out. MZ, what the hell is going on here? I'm talking about travel and all kinds of fun stuff. What the hell's going on with you? James Gregory, thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. Big thumbs up for you. So, Foxy, you do like asking lots of questions. So, actually, these T-shirts, they're printed actually in the town I live in. There's a Campus Inc. is the company that does it. They're here in town. We actually help. That's why I use them to help my local community and also give jobs to my local community. And so they make all the shirts here with all the printing. And they print the masks and they print the water bottles and all that stuff. So, all done here. CJ KV, if you live in the Northeast, highly recommend a weekend in Buffalo. There's a wing tour, so if you love wings, it's basically heaven. Oh, hell yeah. So, Canisius College, CJ, do you live in Buffalo? Because I was actually interviewing at Canisius College in Buffalo, and when I got my job offer here at Illinois, I wrote them like, hey, I need to know if you guys are going to be on because I got this offer from the University of Illinois, and they're like, well, we're still looking. I'm like, I got to take the Illinois job. But yeah, I was looking there, so... Yeah, no, if I see Mark in a body scanner in the airport, I'm going to say hi, but don't judge. Nice. Gerba, what's the 5 love and hates of Greenland coming? Actually, I hate myself because we were in Iceland and you can actually do a flight from Iceland to Greenland. There's actually a day tour to do that. I really wish we would have done that. Oh, I was so pissed I didn't do that. Foxy, I'm sure we'll see each other one day. Let's see. So, Hawkshaw Hawkins, I've noticed darts seem really popular in Europe and they go all out. Have you ever been to a darts match worth going? I have been, and no, it wasn't. No, it was worth going because I got my buddies and I got totally hammered at the pub. But it wasn't worth for the darts because I was like, we can play darts. So, but it is true. Like darts are a legit thing in the UK. Yes, Matt, I do have a Union Jack one. One day I'll make a US one too. So Lori Sims, do any of your shirts or quarter zips come with embroidery? So if you get the black quarter zip that you'll see that I wear in the videos, the black one that we have on sale at waltersworld.store, if you go there, that is a Wolters World. It's embroidered in there. And if you get our puffy jacket, that's embroidered in there. And then there's a jacket we have with an arm patch that is embroidered as well. So just trying to help. Which location I found to be people to be the friendliest? Rwanda, incredibly friendly. Nicaragua, incredibly friendly. Italy, incredibly friendly. France, incredibly friendly. U.S., incredibly friendly. So so many stuff. Choki, I'm glad my positivity can come through, man. That's awesome. Let's see. Oh, Pink Lady, thank you very much for the super chat. I hope you're doing well. How is everything in Australia today? We're safe and well. Jocelyn is not feeling well tonight, so she had to call tonight early. Actually, before I got started, she had the first espresso Manhattan ready to go. She had one of those, but then she had to go to bed because she was not feeling good. Matt G, favorite country in every continent. Go. One, I want to exclude the U.S. because I live here. In North America, Nicaragua. In South America, Brazil. In Africa, Rwanda. In Europe, France, Italy. I can't decide. In Asia, Japan. In Australia. So, but it depends how you count your continents, as you might have heard me talking about in our mistakes of visiting the U.S. video. Zach, what do you do if you go to a country that's main language you don't know? I learn please, thank you, yes, no, bathroom. And everything goes well from there. And if you learn good, because someone will teach you good, and you say good with the food and point at it and be all happy, then they just love you. So you'll be fine. All right, Noel, hasta luego. Buena suerte con los estudios. Genetics exam tomorrow. Be good, man. Be good. Let's see. Oh, PEI. Prince Edward Island was really nice. That was a nice place. So, CJ, the question is, was the history of genocide in Rwanda still evident when you visit Rwanda? I read a book on it in high school, and it really intrigues me. Definitely on my list to visit. So you will see genocide memorials all over the country, and they do not hold anything back. Like, there's an age limit to go in. I think it's 12 or 13. Caleb could go in, and it was like Liam could not go in because they tell the story. And like the one in Kigali, they'll show you a picture of this baby, and it says, "Oh, and this baby," and they say the kid's name, born, what he or she liked to play with blocks, was killed by getting their face smashed into a wall like this, and you're like, "Oh my God!" And like they don't hold it back. It's all out there, and the thing is it's horrible. It is horrible, and it's just horrible. But you're like, man, if they can reconcile and find a way, I think we can find a way from our differences, and get together again. So there is that. Just trying to help. Scariest moment when traveling, when I got a phone call from Jocelyn. Well, there's two. I got a phone call from Jocelyn when I was in China, and Liam is screaming. It's like, we have to go to the hospital. He smashed his hand in the wrong, like not the door part, but the hinge part. So we ended up in a bunch of hospitals in China. And then when Jocelyn was pregnant, we were in Portugal, and she had an ultrasound, and they said she needs to lay down and never get up again because they thought Liam was going to come at 20 weeks. So that was pretty freaking scary. So there is that. Cho, I have not been to South Africa, so I can't say. Adrian in Melbourne. Hey, I hear you guys can get out now. Hope you can get to a restaurant and get some good food. Hope you're doing well. Hello, Mark. What was the worst service you received while traveling? I think it was in Russia. It's pretty bad there. So I can think of. Hit the road, Jack. Hey, hope you're doing well, buddy. Yeah, so please, thank you, yes, no, bathroom, and 2 coffees with milk, please. Nice. So that's all there's no dwa piwa, 2 beers in Polish. So we have that. Let's see. Night, Colin. Hope you're doing well. Pink Lady, I can't wait to fly you. Yeah, I got a load of credit too. I don't know if I ever get to use it. Family's doing good. Jocelyn's not feeling well tonight, so that's why she's not on. So let's see. Yeah, France and Germany doing more lockdowns. Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot more lockdowns the next probably month. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see lockdowns through the holidays, just because when people get to get out again together, they're going to get to celebrate the holidays. So, I mean, there'll be no Christmas markets anywhere. There'll be no celebrations. It's kind of sad, but gotta do what you gotta do. So anyway, Cho, yes, I've had surgeries before. So Matt Jones, Mark, how come Americans don't use the metric system? Because we were an English colony, so we had the imperial system, and then we weren't really near any country that was bigger than us that made us force. Actually, there's laws in the book to switch things to metric, but they never put the money with it, so we didn't do that. Alex, is Nashville worth going to while COVID cancels live music? Yeah, but I would just wait because it's so much better with the music, and some of the music's still going on outside, but it's not the same. CJ, do you have any advice on finding cheap domestic flights? You got to be flexible when you go and where you go, and look way in advance. Set up alerts like with Kayak and Skyscanner for destinations you want to go to. When they have like a really great deal, they'll let you know. So that's something I would say. Joseph McSorley, best places in Northern Ireland. Well, Giant's Causeway for me is just unbelievably cool. I really like that. Belfast, when I was there, seeing the murals, that was neat. But yeah, my buddy Mo could tell you better. He's on here sometimes. So, the boys are still awake? Oh, man. Which, Mark, any desire to teach geography in addition to marketing? Actually, eventually I will have some geography stuff here on the channel because I've been filming videos for the last few years that I haven't got a chance to put together, which we'll be doing a lot of fun geography and history and culture of different countries and like shorter videos. Like it's going to be like a 3-minute video of fun facts about different places. So we'll have some stuff coming up. Well, I was hoping to get it this fall, but I just don't have the time. I'm just overrun with online education right now. So we'll have that. Travis, bidets will not become popular in the U.S. ever, I don't think. If I ever get to Brighton, yes, Foxy, I'm sure I'll have some fun there. Right. Well, I got to get the boys to bed because apparently they were not in bed. So I got to deal with this. So everybody, thank you for the 3 hour or almost 3 hours tonight. It's been great to see everybody here. Vagabundy throwing in the last little big thumbs up, the Grand Poobah of Travel. Thank you so much. Anyway, I wish you all the best. I thank you, everybody, for coming on tonight. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for grabbing the merchandise, WoltersWorld.store. If you want to grab a shirt and everything, so we can get it to you before Christmas for your favorite traveler. Working on even some more fun stuff to have for the holidays. So good things out there. But everybody, I want to wish you all the best. A great day. Thank you, everybody, on here tonight. Be safe, stay safe, enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, enjoy everything. Bye, Mark family. Thank you to our Mark and the Mark for moderating, all the other moderators out there. Thank you so much, all the fans, all the super chatters, all the patrons, all of the members, everybody. Y'all rock. I really appreciate it. I'm glad we could do this tonight. Let's hit the road, Jack. The replay will be ready in about 15 minutes. Thanks, Foxy. Y'all be good. Thanks, everybody. Be well. And until next time, happy travels, as Rick Steve would say.